dear friend of ours in the United Kingdom, Abala Yusuf Ba, who passed away from COVID-19 very sadly late last night. So please make a dua for his maghfirah and the maghfirah of all our deceased, inshallah. Arslan Ba, over to you.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Walaikum
I'm going to recite a very, you can say, a very important surahs of the Quran, which is actually conveying the names of Allah, the Asmaul Husna of Allah, which is the last 4 ayats of Surah Hashr. So I'm gonna put on the slide so that if you guys would like to read along while I read it. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم صدق الله العظيم. As per the request of Mr. Solih Nurba and Bashir Ba, I would like to all of us to pray for the deceased Mr. Abba Ali Yusuf. I would request that all pray for his maghfirah, inshallah, and may Allah bless him with Jannah and Afia in the world hereafter, and for all of us present here as well.
Ameen.
I would like Sana to please take over with the proceedings as my co-host in this event. Sana, are you around?
Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for your recitation, Arslan Bha. I would request to start the proceedings of this meeting by inviting our newly elected Secretary General and our chairman for the last 3 years, Mr. Bashir Sattar, a person of strong principles and ideology. He's our brother, our mentor. My first meeting with him when he was interviewing me showed how principled he is and how committed he was to make a team based on merit. Bashir Bha, please, over to you.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Sana. Appreciate your kind words. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulihil kareem. Muhammadin wa alihi sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. My respected elders, my former President Solih Nurba, our newly elected President Salman Ba, our newly elected Deputy President Mehmood Shekhani Ba, our Chairman of the Board of Trustees Ashraf Sattar Ba, Deputy Chairman, Ismail Gharid Ba, and all the other office bearers, newly elected and former, who are present today. My GYW team, my Chief Advisor Khurram Ba, my Secretary Sana, my treasurer, our treasurer Hasan Tabani Ba, all my RYVCs, and all the elders and members of the Global Youth Wing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It gives us immense pleasure to hold our first formal Global Youth Wing conference online using the Memon virtual meeting app. This app will facilitate, inshallah, the proceedings, not only for this meeting, but also for meetings going forwards, inshallah. And we will endeavor to develop this further. My main emphasis of my talk today is not only to welcome you to today's proceedings. You will have also seen and noticed the Global Youth Wing publication that was posted today, stretching from the inception of GYW in 2017 to 2020. Much of the material about what has happened is covered in there and has been covered by many of my talks previously. I'm just going to leave it very short about what's happened, and by saying that the facilitators of this very important aspect of our progress as WMO are here today in the form of Solly Nurba, who has been really an amazing mentor, supporter, facilitator, and guide. And without the right guidance, we could not have succeeded. Soliba, I salute you, Ba, and always will remember you warmly in my heart for the dedication with which you've served this organization and humanity generally. That is an inspiration for us all. It's an inspiration for me, and I hope by any small way that I'll be able to inspire others to do work on a basis where we put our effort in our work and we allow our work to do the talking. You know, in an organization like WMO, it's easy to get consumed in the politics of influence and nepotism. Very easy to do that. It's also very easy to get diverted in your attention to tutu meme and things that have been said by others, hearsay, and so on and so forth. If you want to progress in any organization, especially our organization, you've got to focus on the work. If you start focusing and getting diverted into other aspects which have nothing really to do with how we want to perform, then we will lose our way. So my firm advice to anybody and all of you in the Global Youth Wing is focus on the work and let your work do the talking. Don't talk about things that are going to create fitna between us and create difficulties and tensions. Try and stay away from them as much as you possibly can. I would almost say at all costs. But if you focus, inshallah, on the work, then we have a chance to deliver the vision of our forefathers to bring all our Memons onto one platform. You, the youth, are the power of today and the results of tomorrow. You, the youth, are the ones who have to ultimately take these seats and perform for the betterment of our community going forwards. I made it very clear when I started the GYW journey in 2017, I would only serve one term. And despite being asked by many people to continue, I said, absolutely not. There has to be succession. There has to be progress. 6 years, 2 terms is far too long for one person to occupy. That's a firm belief I have. And I've also even already told my office bearers in the new WMO team that I will not be serving more than 1 term as Secretary General. I only intend to stand for 1 term, and then I'll hand over to somebody new to come in and do the job. And if I can help out in other areas of the WMO, then I will do so, but my decision is to stay only for 1 term. So this is something which I think is healthy for us as an organization to have change, to allow others to come forward, to develop leaders for the tomorrow that we have ahead of us, so that we can progress with fresh ideas, fresh contacts, new ways of working, and to improve the way we manage our organization's affairs, and ultimately create the results that we all need to benefit our community and humanity generally. I don't want to say too much because there's a lot to be said by my regional youth executives, regional youth vice chairmans, my treasurer, and also my secretary for the Global Youth Wing, and others as well. So I'm going to hand back to Sana to continue the discussions and deliberations during this conference. Jazakallah khair. We'll be available during the course of the meeting to discuss and answer questions as well. So please stay on, and we hope you will enjoy today's program, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you for your words, Bha. Amidst all the chaos and all the bad news we keep hearing due to the pandemic, there are good news coming in WMO with the election of a very dynamic new team. I would like to invite our newly elected president, someone this world knows. We don't have to introduce him. We are lucky to have such a dynamic and world-renowned person now representing our organization. Mr. Salman Iqbal, I would request your kind words for this occasion.
Thank you so much, Sana, Darvesh, and thank you, Bashir Ba, for starting up this amazing initiative, the GYW. It is very, very, very important that we have the youth and the youth understanding and the brains of the new culture coming into the WMO. And Hadi Saab Marhoom always wanted the youth to be a part of WMO. And I remember most of the people who are now our Wadils were the youth of those times in WMO. And we know the importance of the youth in our organization. We all know that. We have all discussed that for the last 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. But I think now is the time to start implementing, giving the freedom to the youth in WMO, letting them do initiatives that they've actually dreamt of. We should not be there to stop them. We should let them dream and let them make their dreams come true. So I'm going to keep it very short, and I just need to talk about 3 things that I want the GYW to start immediately, and I will give my complete dedication and time and money for those initiatives. The 3 things which I'm actually thinking about is to, first of all, the great initiative that I saw when I was speaking at the AGM in Pakistan was the Mehman Connect. We need to modify the Mehman Connect, and we need to relaunch the Mehman Connect. And let's not wait for the AGM to launch the Mehman Connect. We should start working on it. We should build a team. While we have the committees happening in the next 15 days, we should have a team which should start working on the Mehman Connect and start promoting the Mehman Connect all over the world. We need to connect those people who are not there in our community, who have not yet come into our community. We know what a lot of women who are the big personalities. We can pinpoint them and we can bring them together. But there are a lot of Memons who we actually don't know where and which cities and which countries they actually belong to. We need to get them all connected to this platform. The second thing I want is to start a Memon TV. We should immediately start working while the team is working on the Mehman Connect. We should start working on a Mehman TV. I know there's a lot of Mehman TVs around Pakistan, and I've seen some of them around India also. But WMO should start this initiative immediately. And whatever the funding requires, I think we don't have to be on satellite right now. We can start the digital medium. We can use the digital media to launch the WMO TV, the Mehman TV, where we have newscasters, where we have programs, where we actually promote what. And the most thing is, if a new donor comes into our community who wants to give the money, they want to know where the money is being used and how the money is being used. Imagine if, for example, just as an example, if a person gives money to build a well in a small village in India. Imagine we have a camera there and we actually showing this person on TV or on digital media, okay, look, your well is being dug right here, and this is where your money has been spent. Believe me, you will have people lining up to give you money, to give us money, and where we can spend on the community properly. The third thing which I really, really, really believe in is the GYW startup. Let's launch a Mehman startup. Let's get a capital for Mehman startup. We don't need more than $10 million. we have amazing we have amazing ideas all over the world. The youth in Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, South Africa, America, the Maimans, they have got so many great ideas. We bring them to a platform, we create a platform where we launch startups. We actually have a big group of businessmen who actually look at their ideas, and we bring those ideas into reality. So I would like, for that startup, I would like to put $1 million from our family to initially start up this startup fund. Let's start. We have talked about a lot of things a lot of times, but we haven't actually done it. Like I said yesterday in my speech, that I want to stand by example. I can give you great ideas, but if I do not back that ideas, it will not work anywhere. So I, from the ARY family, would like to give $1 million for the startup. We'll inshallah collect more money in that startup. And Bashirba, immediately we should set up a team who should get ideas from the GYW through the DYW and invest in these startups and give Maiman jobs. This is the only way we can actually create jobs for the Maimans. Let a new person get a job and he will create jobs for us in the Maiman community. These are 3 ideas that I really, really want to work on. And I want the GYW to actually focus on these ideas. These are small ideas right now, but they will get into bigger for our Maiman community. And this could be, we could have an international TV channel. We could have, 3 hours coming from India, 3 hours from Pakistan. At night when everybody goes to sleep, we have America, UK, Europe. We have chapters all over the world. So we can have Singapore, Malaysia. We can have a 24-hour channel talking about the world and talking about the Maiman as a whole. Thank you so much, guys. I really, 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 appreciate you guys working so hard. The youth are the most important things in our minds and hearts. And inshallah, we will make sure that these ideas and these energy is not gone to waste. Thank you.
Sana? I just want to say, Salman Ba, that it's an amazing speech you've made today, Ba. My response is not scheduled in the timing, but I just have to respond. But the vision with which you will energize the WMO will complement the excellent work of our predecessors, inshallah. This is a natural progression for the WMO, and with you at the helm now, working with the legacy of Soliba and the rest of the team, inshallah, I'm sure this will go from strength to strength. But Jazakallah khair, Ba, for your vision, your generosity, and the action plan and call to action with which you have ignited our passion again today. Jazakallah khair, Ba.
Inshallah. Thank you. Thank you, Bashir.
Sana?
Thank you, Salman Bha. The person I'm inviting next for his words is our former president, but our forever guide. At the AGM when he cried, we cried with him. We see comfort that he's there to guide us. And he's here with us today on this occasion. Sir Solly Noor, I would request your kind comments for the young people watching you.
Thank you, Sana. Assalamu alaikum. Our Honorable President Salman Ba and his new team, our former chairman of the youth wing, Bashir Ba, but still a very active part of the team, our new chairman of the board of trustees, Ashraf Ba, and his team, all the members of WMO that are listening today. We are truly honored to be part of this youth wing. And when you see the 3 points that our new president has raised, they are pivotal and part of growing what it is. It takes me back 15 years when Haji Saab came to us and presented us with a golden egg on a plate. But we were not smart enough to take that egg and hatch it, because today we would be somewhere else. He came in one of the meetings and he said, the Habib Bank Group is for sale. And I've got it for us for $380 million. And I assure you that is the one that we must raise money and go for. He went further to say that we will need $50 million, that the rest will leverage. And unfortunately, there wasn't enough support for him. But that very same bank was bought by the Aga Khani group. And within 15 years, they've turned it into a $4 billion company. So when today we get a magnanimous offering here from the very family saying that let's start up with a setup for our youth. And that is where the world is going. And that is where everybody wants to go. And he's putting $1 million of his money here, and we must raise another $9 million. If that is not taken up, then we're going to make the same mistake second time around, and we must not allow that to happen. We must also, at this point of time, we cannot miss out. You know, we got Ashraf Ba, we got Sana Bai there, we got Kuram. These are three amazing youth leaders that Bashir Ba has put on. And below them, there are so many more. And these are the people that would change and move forward with the very 3 points that Salman Ba has raised today. The first 2 points are so simple. The second one falls right into his plate because he's in the media business. And you wouldn't get a better guidance anywhere in the world. It's like you're getting the top advocate in the world giving you a pro bono service. Well, you've got it here today. And if you don't take this up, then there's something very wrong. I think all three are achievable. If you go back into history and see 20 years ago, when Silicon Valley started, and it was people like Sequoia Capital and all of them that came up with startups and made sure that they gave money to those that they believed in. And those are the people they believed in, which are today the giants of the world. Where oil was running it and where all the other big companies were the helm of Dow Jones and the Nasdaq. Today, the 5 top companies are all the startups that came out of really nothing 20 years ago, which you all know is Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook, Netflix. So this is exactly the reason, and this is why we should be following where it is. I have absolutely no doubt we have the youth. I believe in the youth. I know it's the youth. You know what this pandemic has brought to the fore? Previously, we would say, the children have passed their matric, let's send them to university, let them get their degrees. They would be well settled. We've given them their road. And now, for the next 20 or 30 years, build your capital, make sure your children go the same route. This pandemic has changed all that. That is gone. That was then. With the new norm, what we got now today is the youth are saying at the age of 24, I'm not here to be a permanent student or going for a degree. I want to see where my mind runs. What do I imagine now? I got to reimagine. I got to rewrite. I've got to reignite. And that is what the youth is craving. I have a grandson now that is just turned 21, but he comes to me every day with ideas. You know what? I think this is a new thing that will work. That will work. How is it? And I send him back and I said, fine, these are the faults I find. How do you go and refine it? And I totally believe in the youth. These are the youth that will carry us. As we say, when we started the youth wing, Bashir Ba will know, and I don't have to repeat it, the backlash that we got. But look at what we got today. If we did not stand by it without fear or favor, we wouldn't have what we got. And then I know the early stages as well, when Bashir Ba had to go and siphon out who the youth leaders are going to be. And I know what he went through and how he articulated everything that came about. And look at it, they're right in front of you. Would you get better than Sana? Would you get better than Kuram? Would you get better than Aslam? They are top class and there are 500 more. Just for us to look for them. It's for us to give them the opportunity. It's for us to lay the platform like the new setup that we're doing. And then we know we'll go where it is. We got a great new expo team, which is all full of youth. Don't watch their age, because I was told that Bashir Ba couldn't run this at the age of 54. How could it be? But well, here's the proof of the pudding. Now you can eat it and taste it, how good it is. So I feel we got a great youthful team that will take us forward, but at the same time, We've just got so much talent at the bottom in Pakistan, in India, in South Africa. If you look at the talent we got and what they can deliver and what they can do, we just got to tap into it. But above all, give them the opportunity. How do you give them the opportunity? It's not telling them what to do, how to do, and say, look, this is what we got. We want to set up a bank, or we want to do a TV station. Just go and do it. I promise you, if you give them that latitude and let them do it, they will surprise you. Isn't it strange that we can trust the youth to run sections of our business, but we deny them the same facility here? What pleases me immensely with this youth group, we got Sana there, which gives us now absolutely no gender discrimination. I've always been for the woman to head up and lead. I mean, you don't have to look further and see how the world is run by women today. Would you rather be ruled by Angela Merkel in Germany, or would you have a Boris Johnson or Donald Trump in America? It speaks for itself. Don't look further. What about the wonderful president or prime minister we have, Ardern in New Zealand?
Yeah.
She's the only person out of absolute chaos created a situation where there's total respect for the Muslim community. Do you honestly believe a man could have done that? I think women have more empathy. Women give birth and women care. But at the same time, we also have youth that do the same. And we have ourselves to say, now we're going to use this opportunity to make sure that our youth take it to another platform. I am quite certain that will happen. I know that will happen. So I implore you to go out and do it. We're not telling you now how to do it, when to do it. I know you will do it. And you got all of us to bounce off anything you want to. I can go one further and tell you that in South Africa, there was a 29-year-old engineer that qualified in Pietermaritzburg. And he felt that was not the place for him. His heart was longing for Silicon Valley. He went to America at the age of 29. And he was the first South African Indian that went there. He was employed by Citibank for 2 years. From there, he went to Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs gave him a blank check to make sure that everything in Silicon Valley is under him, and they're giving him a $20 million retainer to bring the business he has to. And after a year, he said he's walking away because he knows he can do better and he will not exercise the $20 million. And I want you to go and just go and Google the spider of Silicon Valley. A very dear man that families are very good friends of ours, and he grew up as a young man in front of me. His name is Divesh Makkan. He took Facebook to the market. He sits on the Facebook board, and everyone else there sits on his board. There's nobody in Silicon Valley that doesn't know him. At the age of 40, he's a dollar billionaire. That's what I see in our youth. And this is what I give you the opportunity. And my new president will allow you the same latitude. Bashir Ba will allow you the same latitude. So now we are not saying how, when, why. Go and do it. Salam alaikum.
Soliba, Jazakallah
Walaikum
for your
salam. Walaikum salam.
amazing talk and insight, and the feelings which you hold so close to your heart. Jazakallah ba. Wonderful, inspiring speech from you. Sana, I'm just going to come in just very quickly here. Can I also ask Memo Shekhani Bhai just to say a few words before we continue with the program?
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Bashir Bhai. I've got Mohammad Maisam Shekhani, my son, and Mashal Shekhani sitting with me because I want them to learn that how the work is going on in our organization. 2-3 years back, I was sitting in a meeting in Karachi, and somebody said to me that our children, they feel that why they should come in these community events, or why they should be called Maimans. Like they used to feel shy. Our kids are shy to be called Maimans in school in different places. So I told them it depends on the parents, how you portray your community to them. What I have learned from my childhood, from my father, my mother, I have seen them working for the community. And this is what I want my kids to understand and learn. And we all parents should teach them, because this, as I told before, that this is the World Maiman Organization is a university where you are educated free. Like, if you become a youth member, it's free, and you're learning everything from this university. Because I have learned so much in my 10 years from these seniors that, I tell my daughter, I tell my son that you are getting free education. You are understanding the ethics, the norms our community have. And all our parents, everybody who got children, they should portray the community in a way that they should feel patriotic to their community. We are patriotic to our nations. We should be patriotic to our community as well. WMO Youth Wing Bashir Bha has done so much of efforts in last 2 years, bringing the young blood. I have seen Bashir Bha working hard and bringing out gems from the youth from last 2 years. And really, honestly, we have some dynamic people. And you have seen Salman Bha coming in, the dynamic vision, the dynamic aims. He came up with 3 ideas, and the startups, the Maiman TV, the Maiman Connect, which Bashir Bha was working hard on. These are the platforms we have to provide to our children. And this is what we are there to support them. Come forward, work, and you will learn everything. How to be a human being, to work for the humanity into the whole world. Thank you.
Jazakallah. Sana, Jazakallah Mehmood Bhai for your wonderful insight, Ba. Really, really valuable. Ba, don't forget that you are still a youth also, mashallah. You are still very much a youth. And the fact, Ba, you are the youngest deputy president of our organization, Ba, and we salute you.
Thank you.
Ba, we make du'as that Allah Pak give you the jazbat, hidayah, guidance to really make a difference for everybody, inshallah. Ba, and I know you have the WMO, the work to the community and to humanity really close to your heart. You are very passionate. And this is the passion and energy that the youth has. And you will be a shining example for the youth of today and tomorrow, Ba, inshallah.
But I just need one minute. If Mashal Shekhani can say a few words, what she is learning, please. Mashal.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Walaikum salam.
I would just like to say that it's very inspiring to see. No one here is my age. I think I'm probably the youngest one listening out of everyone, but I think it's very inspiring and uplifting, everyone's words of encouragement and wisdom and what they have done for the community over the course of many years, probably longer than I've been alive, to be honest. I think that it's so beneficial, and I think it's so inspiring, to be honest, that everyone here is so devoted to a charitable cause. Like, you're not getting any benefit for yourself from it. You're helping other people, you know? And I think that people in my age, they don't really understand the point of helping others for no benefit of themselves. But I feel like very few people understand the outcome of helping others. And I think it's really cool to just watch and listen and learn.
Come here.
Jazakallah, Mashal, wonderful.
Bashir Bha,
so much.
if I may just say, if you don't mind, you know, we must also applaud Mashal. Last year, she graduated with all A's. And, you know, she's the future as well. Congratulations, Mashal. I haven't forgotten.
Jazakallah, Ba. Thank you so much, Ba. We appreciate that. And the contribution from Mashal is very inspiring and it's amazing. I'm going to ask Sana to keep to the program now, inshallah. My apologies for going off the program. Please accept my apologies for that, but it was important. Sana, over to you to maintain the program, inshallah.
Yeah, so the next 5 minutes is my presentation as the GYW secretary. I would request Wasim to put up the 2 slides that I made, but I would really start with some storytelling because stories have the power to make a change. I come from Pakistan, from a very humble Maiman background. I grew up to dislike the community completely because I thought being Maiman is the largest, greatest barrier for me as a woman to progress. You know, you are judged for being too educated, too opinionated, too assertive, too principled. Shadi care karno, jahez itna sara, you know, spending so much money on weddings. And so I would think all my life challenges are because I'm a Maiman. I had no Maiman friends, no Maiman mentors. Chose to marry a non-Maiman. And when you grow up, you realize that you cannot run away from your roots. You start missing where your Nana belongs, where your Dada belonged, the people they lived with, the people they served, their friends. And this opportunity comes up for application into Global Youth Wing. My friends encouraged me to apply, and I thought it's impossible because I don't have anyone that I know of. I don't come from a big family. I don't bring riches. But I still applied and had this interview with our chairman. And it was so amazing how the whole interview process was just based on the questions, the technical questions, and then you know how our education background was, our successes, aspirations. And yet again, I was not selected to be secretary. I was selected to be an advisor so that I can learn and grow. This is exactly how merit can prevail. This is exactly how new blood can come into WMO. This is exactly how people who have been disgruntled by the community can come back only through merit, through talent. Nepotism is, you know, WMO has nepotism, is the most common observation that young people make when they find out that I belong to WMO. And I tell them I am a living success story where I knew nobody. I still have very less connections within the WMO in terms of friendships. Yet my opinion matters. Yet I share an audience with legends like Sir Soli Noor, Sir Iqbal Sakrani. Shabana Appa is kind to me. Bashir Bha, I can call him and ask him for advice any day. So merit is the only thing that would bring our young people back to the community. To the young people, I would say that community has power. The question that you need to ask is, what am I bringing to the table? Rather than asking what the community gives back to me. Community will embrace you. Your community will love you, will hold you when you're falling, will own you, will give you a sense of belonging when nobody is identifying your potential. Believe you me, there is so much potential that can be expressed now in WMO. So come forward. We definitely do not want faces to repeat. Like Bashir Bha said, we grow up with the same values. We don't want to hold on to positions forever. We want to move on, and we want to make sure that younger people are coming in. My next slide is numbers. Wasim. So the key task for this team, as I know, as I was guided and mentored, was to put a structure in place. And it takes a lot of time. Like Sir Soli Noor said, you have to convince people, you have to go around, talk to people, clear all the misconceptions. If there are reservations, you have to clarify them. And the interview process, since I was a part of most of the interviews that took place for the regional youth vice chairman, it was so thorough, and we took days and days to select people. And so we have a structure in 5 chapters now, which is in place. You don't have to do much. Follow the same process, and you will be successful in finding new people, better people, maybe the same people doing better work. We have also increased membership in chapters that come through manual applications and website. But the key success of membership we see is through Maiman Connect, where 12,000 Maimans from around the world signed up. And this is an area we need to, like Salman Bha said, we need to invest further in, we need to make it better so that we can connect Maimans across the world more effectively. We hope that the forthcoming team would be able to engage better. You will in the following presentations now see how we did it, and you might be able to appreciate what worked, what did not work, and we would inshallah be able to build a better team, more youth participation in coming years if this momentum and the value system continues. Thank you so much. I would request Arslan Tabani Bha to please present his accounts, the financial presentation. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you, Sana, for sharing your experiences. It was great to hear of those. I'm going to now present the accounts, and I'm trying to sort of go through it a bit quickly to save some time for my following members. But I have to say that after hearing Salman Bhai's announcement regarding the fund for the startup, these accounts would be looking very humbling, and I'm sure the accounts that are going to follow here on are going to be much more interesting to see. So we're looking at 2018 and 2019. We've divided the projects into various categories, which is social services, conventions, sports and recreation, training and development, and social gathering. What I would love most that Bashir Bhai has taught us, or encouraged us to do, especially our vice chairman, is to develop programs that are self-financed. So all of these projects that you see are very interestingly either covered in terms of sponsorship. So they have been made so valuable commercially that we have had sponsors willing to pay us funds to sponsor those. And as well as there are other sales revenues such as participation fees into events and so on. So Youth Wing have been very successful at being independent as such. So in 2018, we had a total spend of $37,000. And in 2019, we've had a total spend of $98,000. I'm going to go through the figures very quickly. In 2018, Middle East, there was expenditure of 8,700. In Far East, there was a total spend of 11,000. In Pakistan, there was a spend of $16,000. So all of them were financed predominantly by the VCs themselves. Speaking in 2019, we've had an increase of the expenses. So in 2019, Middle East has a spend of $14,000. Most importantly, we've had a very, very significant event, which is the M10, which in itself it was a project of more than $80,000, which took place in 2020. Then we have the Far East, which had a spend of $12,000, and they come up with projects almost every month, it seems. Then we have the Youth Wing, Youth Wing of Pakistan, which had a expenditure of $26,000. Again, you can see there is a net budget surplus of $2,000. So they've collected more than they've spent in all of their projects. And we have the North India chapter, which had a spend of $44,000 in 2019, which includes a variety of projects. Now, this is the important thing. In 2018 and 2019, there's been a lot of focus into the areas of conventions, because our initial focus was to gather the youth members into our fold. And to grow these, we had to perform events and activities which created those numbers that we're at today. Again, that you see in 2019, there's a greater emphasis into the conventions and a lot of social services, predominantly that has been done by North India. This is to show you the expenditure difference between 18 and 19, and hopefully this will grow much more in the coming years to come. Most importantly, we've have more impact. The results are not related to the expense that we've made, but most importantly, what is the impact that we have created? That's more important. First of all, just to give you a short idea of my experience with my role, I've been very, very excited and very happy to be part of this group, where I've met great leaders, people with outstanding marketing ideas, out of the box thinking. And especially Bashir Bhai, really, really appreciate the experience I've had with you. You've been a mentor, not just for WMO projects, but even for my personal questions, if I had any. You've always been a mentor and elder brother for me. Speaking of how I would like things to be in the future, I would recommend a global youth wing fund, which would give us more power to execute projects in the coming future. So we have certain projects which are global in its impact, such as Connect, which Salman Bhai rightly pointed out, which is global in nature, and then we have projects which are local in nature. So I would request our team to have funds in the future so that our VCs have more firepower with them to execute the projects and not be entirely dependent on the commercial aspects of things. Thank you so much, and I look forward for the presentation by Wasim, who is the Vice Chairman of the India chapter.
Thank you so much, Arslan. You'll have to stop sharing for me to start. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's a pleasure meeting all of you today. And before starting the video, I want to just share a small video, and after that, I'll start with the presentation.
देश पांजो कौम पांजी बदलाव गिनिया चंजी जिम्मेदारी भी पांजी ई 26 जनवरी आइन जे अंदर जे देश प्रेम के जगायो आइन जे अंदर जे इंसान के जगायो बुली विनो पांजे हर मन मुटाव के आइन जे अंदर जे मेमन के जगायो बदलाव जो रस्तो मुश्किल जरूर हुनो पन पांजे काल जे लिए पाके अज बदलाव की नियत चंजो है
Bolno. That is the tagline, that is the feeling, and that is the zest which we did Memon Panchayat on the 26th of January. And trust me, it was such a big success and such a big, in such a big way, we were able to penetrate right inside the community and right the youth. So that, keeping that in mind and a lot of other things, our vision for, as we say, for 20, as I call it, Vision 23 for WMO GYW NIC is to make and to create leaders. You know, we have to make and we have to not only create leaders, we have to train them, we have to make them ready. But before going into what Vision 23 is all about, 2 years from the time where I actually became a part of WMO, and the last 6 months when I became the RYVC. So for us, youth activities, the number one thing was creating a team, and a team which is not only able to fire on all cylinders, but a youth team which is really, really potent enough to handle anything. And I can very strongly claim that each one of them is a gem. Each one of them has the power to turn around things, and each one of them can do anything you throw at them. This is the power of WMO NIC GYW team. How did we manage that? Well, it was a 2-month.
Wasimba, we are losing you, Ba. Wasimba, we've lost you, I think. Wasimba?
Yeah, Bashir Bhai, I believe we lost him, but he seems to be reconnecting.
Okay, we'll just carry on waiting, no problem. It's a really exciting presentation. I'm so thrilled to see it. Just waiting for it to come, inshallah. Wasim, if you can hear me, don't get stressed. These things happen.
Bashir bhai, we officially lost Wasim Ba now.
Okay, he'll come back, inshallah.
He'll come back.
Okay, let's just
May I recommend? Yeah.
carry on.
I was recommending.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would recommend we can go ahead with Farooq Aziz Ba, and then we can have Wasim Ba back again to resume his presentation. Farooq Aziz Ba, would you like to please take over the mic, please?
Absolutely, and if it would be possible, you could put my slide on the screen. First of all, assalamu alaikum to all well-esteemed members. Thank you very much for taking the time out to listen to all of us today.
But can you just say who you are? Can you introduce yourself as to who you are within the organization, so we are clear about who we are listening to, because everybody else may not know you directly. So please introduce yourself formally, properly.
Slide to come up, but in the meantime, my name is Farooq Aziz. I am the Regional Youth Vice Chairman of the Europe chapter, the newly found team that was established in 2020. So I have been leading this part of the team now since the early parts of 2020 and throughout this year. What we wanted to do was just give you a very brief overview of what's been happening in the Europe chapter. It is very much a chapter that is still, from the Youth Wing's perspective, in its infancy. My PowerPoint up on the screen. We started the Europe chapter actually with our launch event back in 2018, which was actually run by yourself, Bashir Uncle. And it was our initial launch event to try and bring the WMO's reach into Europe and penetrate it further. What you will be able to see is that the other chapters that we look to for inspiration have very much succeeded in establishing a strong global youth presence. And inshallah, we're trying to follow in their footsteps as well. 2018 was a starting event to seed the grounds of the foundation for the Global Youth Wing. And we had initiated an event where we had attendance of over 90 youth members, giving them an example of what the Global Youth Wing has achieved in other regions and what we were seeking to achieve out in Europe. Now, it took us some time to establish a team, and subsequent events actually followed. In 2019, we followed up with a much bigger event at the Merriman Center in South London. And alhamdulillah, it was very, very successful. What we were able to do is host over 200 to 300 people. And in similar fashion to the event that was hosted in 2018, we were able to introduce some illustrious speakers from various parts of the Global Youth Wing, individuals such as Asif Rangunwal Uncle, Iqbal Sakrani Uncle, Bashir Uncle, Mahmoud Sheikhani Ba, who were all able to express their opinions about the importance of the youth and the future and how we needed to establish a foot presence in Europe. And from there, we set up a recruitment initiative to hire the likes of myself, who then subsequently joined, having attended that event, and 8 other bright individuals who form part of my team. And 2020 has been a significantly tough year for us. Upon the inception of the team back in March earlier this year, we've obviously had to tackle the likes of the pandemic. And so achieving projects within this platform has been pretty difficult. But nonetheless, we have been able to initiate a few ideas, and inshallah, taking inspiration from the other successful chapters across the globe, we will continue to penetrate and make a significant impact. There are not necessarily just the team in Europe, but we also have individuals out in Portugal who have also made an impact on behalf of the Global Youth Wing in Europe. Under the leadership of our Uncle Liaquat Hamid, we've hosted iftar meals for over 150 Muslim brothers at the Sintra Masjid in Portugal. And his youth have individually repeated this on a regular basis throughout the holy month of Ramzan, and inshallah will continue to organize such events going forward in the future. We have subsequently this year set up our first project, the first of inshallah many other projects that we will continue to implement. This project was the Muslim Burial Fund Partnership, where we have partnered up with an established charity to provide burial grants to needy Muslims to meet the traditional burial costs in the UK, and especially to those that have been affected by COVID-19 by providing them with burial support for those in need, any planning for those who have lost their loved ones as a result of COVID, and a telephone advice and signposting hotline for those who have also been impacted. So whilst we are making individual baby steps, it is safe to say that the next few years is bright for us. We have a very well-established team behind us. We have some very experienced individuals, and under the fresh new leadership of Salman Iqbal Uncle, inshallah, we will be able to penetrate further in this region. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah. Sana, can you continue, please, with the agenda?
So can I finish?
Oh, okay. Wasima, you're back. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this internet over here, some issue. Yeah, thanks a lot. So I'm really, really sorry for what happened. But coming back to the entire thing, that this is the team which we formed, and each one of them have done a great job. And whether it was Panchayat, Parliament, all of that came together in forming this team. Now, this is the event which actually started the whole. It's like a tale which I'm telling you all and sharing with you all. कि यहाँ से पूरी जर्नी शुरू हुई थी जो था यूथ पार्लियामेंट. यूथ पार्लियामेंट में काफी नए इनिशिएटिव्स आए, बच्चों को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली. और लास्ट ईयर जब मैं दुबई आया था, आप लोग से मैंने शेयर भी किया था दैट वी डिड इट. एंड on the day of youth parliament, lot of initiatives were passed, lot of other resolutions were passed, और हमको एक बहुत ही strong youth का base मिल गया. And once we got that base, we started implementing on them, and we started doing a lot more events like the NRC camp you see over here, or the Maiman Premier League which started happening, which was under Moeen and a very good team of youth at that time. Maiman Football League which was done, blood donation drives. All these things started building up WMO's youth profile in NIC, and then we started and we harped on the next target, and that was now we will go and reach out to the youth in a way which has never happened, and that gave led to us something called as youth conventions. Now, regular youth conventions are where you go and you speak to the people and it's done, but our youth conventions were different, because here the people here the audience members got a full chance to interact as long as they want with the WMO leadership team, as well as we presented a vision to them that this is what we are bringing for you. We had a very new approach to communication, which you will see later on. So a lot of different things happened, which actually grabbed youth's attention. And this is what resulted in Maiman Panchayat being such a big success, because you won't believe that in one of the panchayats where we did, we had 1,000 people as panchayat members. So that was the scale we achieved with Maiman Panchayat. And one more thing, everybody says that ladies empowerment is very important. We at NIC team definitely believe in that and take it to real seriousness, because jab humne panchayat kiya, our panchayat had a very important rule, sir, and I'll tell you that this was done by 71 Jamaats. So the thing was that every panchayat will have two sarpanches, a lady and a gent, and the male and the female will together take all the decisions in the panchayat. So both the sarpanches, in this way we've created n number of women leaders, who are today being actively a part of the new ladies wing which has been formed. So this is one example where how important a role a youth can play to bring on ladies, bring on everybody on one common platform, and this was an example of that. After our youth conventions, now that we were doing empowering youth, we were doing brought us to something called as Project Mohammed, which was all about bringing a smile to people's faces. And very surprisingly, I mean, the response just blew us away, because every nook and corner, one city, 5, 6 events were being done. More than 100 events were happening all across India with just one common objective, that every Maiman will bring a smile to somebody's face. That was it. And what a view it was on that day, where youth came out in all numbers. Once we had a sizable youth with us, that is when we started implementing, as Salman sir rightly said, Maiman Startup Fund. And our process to understand how the startup function happens started with our first of its kind, a knowledge sharing inter-community meet in India, which was between the Maiman community and the Jain community. And we went over there, we came to know that how an organization like Jito, which started with some 3 to 4 crores in hand, today has crossed more than 100 crores, in just distributing and getting people, incubating their community members and forming some very good companies and promoting startup in a way never done before. So we went over there, we saw how it is done. We came back, we researched on our community, and that led to the upcoming initiative, which I'll be sharing. Apart from that, distribution drives, the 7 resolutions which were passed at Youth Parliament, like framing the constitution, we did it. Health insurance, we are on our way of getting it done. Each one, teach one, as Mahmood Shakani said, that we have to break geographical boundaries. Sir, here is the platform for you. This will break all the geographical boundaries. And we made it happen. And because of that, that one event which we did, sir, you won't believe that 2,500 people watched it live at that moment. And right now it's getting a view of around 4,000 to 5,000 views in a matter of, I think, a month. That is what we did with Each One Teach One. Education based initiatives are right now going on. Mandatory skill development and all is something we are working on. A committee for ladies wing and digitalization of zakat is something we are absolutely working on right now, and it is just on the route. As Mehman Connect will happen, so will other things. And Hum Honge Kamyab was something which we started in India, which capitalized on the current youth issue which happened. Because of COVID, people were not going to colleges, people were not going to actually their schools and all of that. They were right at home. We tapped that part and we launched our first episode, which I was talking about, which is a part of Each One Teach One, called based on the CAT MBA entrance and JEE entrance exams. And that became a huge success, you know. Moving ahead, these are some of the artworks to show you how we approach the people and all. But this was the event face to face, which made us realize, hey, yaar, this is possible. Because this was the first experiment of going live and doing a live streaming session. And what happened, I'll tell you one small example of face to face. When the meeting was going on, we were interacting. I get a call from someone. He's like, Wasim bhai, kaun se channel pe aa raha hai? Mere baaju wala dekh raha hai. So even though we have 3,000 views right now on face to face, it was not watched by 3,000 people. It was watched by 3,000 families. That was the reach which this thing did, and we are not really aware of it right now. But this was the underrated gem which gave us the boost to do many more things, like Each One Teach One and Generation COVID, where we crossed 7,500 live at that time people, you know, on the platform, learning about how will COVID affect their kids. Well, this is in a nutshell whatever we have done, right from Roti Bank to a lot of things you can read in the magazine. I want to talk about the way ahead. I know this is the part, you know, which we are all interested in. Where are we heading? And for that, first of all, is the new approach to communication. Gone are the days, you know, when the youth was supposed to join, or when the youth was supposed to be like, "Aap aiye, be a part of it. We are seniors. We will guide you." Gone are those days. We have adopted a new approach in communication where we tell them in a language they want to hear, where we have made community, being a part of community service, as being cool, where we say that if you're doing community service, you are developing yourself first. So this is the kind of new communication approach which we have started with our youth, and it has given us tremendous response. Yes, Mehman Connect was a part of our presentation, and sir, I would, on behalf of NIC team, all I want to say is that we want this to happen ASAP. This is the need of the hour, and we are more than happy to be the first pilot project. You know, in India, we can be the first pilot project for this. Mehman Startup Fund, hum kar dikhayenge. I think this is something which was launched and was happening in April. First, at that time, I सोच रहा था, अरे यार, COVID क्यों हो गया? This got stuck. We had booked Taj Lands for this, and it was becoming a mega event. But somehow I'm very happy today, because आज जो announcement हुआ, उसके बाद I can see this thing going to some another level. Right now it was going to some another level, but now it will take off like anything, and that is what will happen now with Startup Fund. Sure. And to make Startup Fund, as we say that the new approach of communication, we have made an inspirational music video also, which will be launching on the 10th of January. Now, when we say new approach, we want our people to, you know, actually connect with the community. As I said, that community is all about a lot more than just you know, being a volunteer. And keeping that in mind, we are launching our first Mehman non-fiction web series. We are called We the Mehman, and the promo will be live on the 10th of January. Again, we'll be launching that on that day too, to boost a very new kind of. So when Salman sir said Mehman TV, I had my eyes gleaming all over it, because this is what we are actually in the process of doing. So together, this will be an amazing project which we'll be able to execute. Halal Risk is a kind of webinar we want to do. Mehman Panchayat will once again happen. Youth Parliament will again happen the way it was planned. Then Maiman Premier League, we will keep blurring geographical boundaries with events like whatever we have been doing. And now with more international participation, I think this will really happen. Finally, this is the last thing which I want to say, and that is I have an international experience. I've worked for more than 3 years in Canada. I've worked at many other places. When I came back to India and when I actually decided that now I'll be a part of community service, I realized that youth was expected to follow. Youth was expected to be a very good volunteer. So that is the approach we wanted to change, and that is why we said that youth will now lead. And now, keeping that in mind, we have launched this new initiative called Rapid Action Leadership Team, changing mindsets, creating leaders, and empowering the youth. And below the number of cities you're seeing, in the past 1 month since my appointment in my second tenure, we have already started talking, and currently all these youth teams are being converted into Rapid Action Leadership Team. Now, what makes it different than a regular youth team except a very good name?
Wasim
What
Bha,
makes it,
Wasim Bha.
just a minute, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just, yeah. So what makes it different is we are following 3 T's. Number one, we are transitioning existing youth teams and we are transforming them into this new brand and this new rapid action team. But secondly, the most important thing we are doing is we are corporate training every youth team, because we believe every youth team should know what is the importance of deadline, what is the importance of being and doing stuff, and leadership skills and time management. And inshallah and mashallah, I would very proudly say that an entire city of Bhavnagar was corporate trained. Every Maiman youth was corporate trained, and we are taking it forward because we believe in sustainable development and self-sufficiency for our community. And keeping that in mind, we are making it happen. Thanks a lot, everyone, for your time. Please ask me questions, and if there is anything, I'm here. And this is a small appeal in the end that all this can happen in your city and your chapters too. We are there to make it happen for you. Please contact us. Thank you so much.
Ba Wasim, what we're going to do, Ba, Jazakallah for your very enlightening, very enthralling and interesting perspective and production of the work over the last 2-3 years. Ba, you guys have done an amazing job, you and the team. I only wish we had more time today to go through these details. Our elders are with us and we want to do a panel discussion, as you know.
Definitely, sir.
And it cannot be overstated how much work you guys have done, not only your chapter, but also Farooq Bhai's chapter in Europe and the other chapters which we're going to hear about. I will just ask everybody who's presenting to make it as efficient as possible so that our panel can come on, because Salman Bhai is in Pakistan and he has to fly very shortly. So we don't want to miss him. And therefore, I'll ask everybody just to be as efficient as possible. Amazing work, NIC and the entire youth team. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much, sir.
Far East now. Sadiq Balba, your presentation.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm sure we all need a breather after listening to Wasim Bha's amazing presentation. So here, my name is Sadiq Bal. I'm the Regional Global Youth Wing for PIE's chapter. Global Youth Wing has brought a fresh perspective to the wonderful work World Maiman Organization is already doing. We tried and succeeded in making more engaging, more organized, and more energized events. The result was better participation, increase in youth membership, and increase in sponsorship base. This in your screen right now is my team, Asanji team for Far East. We have there from here, I'll call you the vice chairman is me, and then Sajid Ilya, the secretary, Dayan Majid, the treasurer, the ladies wing, Nusrat, Munazia, and the executive committee, Sikandar Rafiq, Imran Ilyas Jabbar, Sajid, Imran Iqbal, and Saqib Yunus. And to the next, I'll be telling you more about the projects which we initiated from 2018 till 2019 mid, before the Easter attacks which happened in Sri Lanka. Next slide, please. This is the project one, which we started with cryptocurrency awareness, which definitely is way to go forward, which we understand how the world moves forward. Like there is no coin in reality, but this is the new future cryptocurrency, which we are speaking. The prices are really going higher, which we need to make the youngsters aware of what the future holds. The next project was a World Mehman Day Multi-Community Health Camp, which we organized in April in 2018. More than 500 people who were there, and we provided them spectacles. We checked their blood temperature, the glucose, all that was provided for them. 500 odd people within the 3 hours. Alhamdulillah, it was an amazing, one of the first few projects for us. Second was the flood relief for Malwana area. Apparently, this is a very sad moment for Sri Lanka, where flash floods are always around, and we as a community, as a youth team, we went there, right in there. Can you change the slide, please? Project number 3, please. Yes, this one. What we did here is we personally wanted to go there and see what exactly was happening with the whole team itself, but without giving any third party involved to help. But we, ourselves, our team, went there in person, helping everyone there. And it was a learning curve for us, what exactly is required at what time. And, we were making sure that the sponsors, the people who were giving the funds were spent wisely and not in the wrong hands. Project number 4, next slide, please, was the iftar at the orphanage. What we say, Rasul Park has always said about the orphans in month of Ramadan. So we made sure that, we learned this with the community, come old and move forward, go to the orphanage, understand what is happening there, be with them, feel them, and spend a good time with them, entertaining them so that they have a good moment with us in a moment of Ramadan. Next was our project, next slide, was one of our top projects which we always look upon, and we want to take this all over the world. Project New Life. This is for the postpartum depression, especially.
You have to finish in 1 minute.
Sorry?
You have to finish quickly in 1 minute.
Yeah, done. So this project, New Life. New Life was a project which is for the postpartum depression for the ladies who really go through a depression when they're pregnant and after pregnancy. So it was helpful for the Mehman young ladies and also the mother-in-laws and the family members around you, how a new pregnant lady feels for the first time and what she's going through, to help her to go through this. Quickly going through, these are a few of our projects. We can just slide in. And I would like to go right the WMO futsal tournament, which is a very successful. And we, alhamdulillah, you can see the project number 11, right, going on slides with the orphanage. When we went to spend that evening with them, and we saw that they required furniture, and which we came back and helped those orphans with the new furniture, so supplied them. And just before I say that without a sense of caring, there can be no sense of community. That is one of the things that we always run through. And we as a whole, as a team, we would like to move forward, bring new ideas. Like Salman Ba said, that definitely startups is very important, which we have already planned in for, which was on schedule for 2020 February. Shark Tank for Mehmans, which we wanted to take it global. And inshallah, as soon as this the COVID situation comes down, we will be coming back and giving you more idea on how our Shark Tank is planning to come up with. And also, as Mahmood Ba said, Shekhani Ba said, university, definitely. WMO has been the university for us, and we are still learning. And even as long as we grow ahead, we always learn. We always learn. There's never stop learning, and it is the best place to learn for youngsters, Mehmans, and mashallah. And what we are looking forward to do, that I request Salman Ba, if this goes well, in future, whenever there's an AGM, we as a youth team, we would love to take over. That is something which I have a dream of. Maybe it's different opinions for this, but AGM should be given to the youth wing so they can come in. So all the chapters come together and they provide
a section for questions and recommendations. We have a whole section for recommendations. So that you are heard.
Jazakallah, Ustad Ba. We have to end.
Thank you so much. And that's it. Thank you, sir. Bashir Ba, you have been our dean of our university, and we learned so much. I'm honestly saying that, the Sri Lanka for the youth, I think there are only 3 members or 4 members. Now, mashallah, it's every month there's an event of WMO. Thanks to you all, and people are coming in.
Thank you so much, Ba, for all your energy, your efforts, and the team that you lead also, Ba. We're grateful
Thank
to
you so
all of
much.
you. And inshallah, the WMO is much better for having this all put together. And we appreciate your leadership and your energy. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Bashir.
you and all your team.
Thank you for the
Jazakallah, Ba.
amazing team. Thank you for all. Kuramba.
Thank you, Ba. Ba, we have to move on,
and the
Ba.
whole team.
Please,
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Saad Ba, we got to move
Thank you.
on. We got to move
Thank
on.
you.
please put up the Middle East presentation.
Aslan Ba, if you're doing the Middle East, please make it short and sweet so we can move on, inshallah.
I'm going to do it, inshallah.
Aslan,
So-
should I put up the presentation or are you doing it?
I'll do it.
Oh.
So actually, Junaid is on a business trip, and I will be giving a very short, brief information on the Middle East chapter. Just loading. Just please bear with me. So basically, while I was the treasurer for the global team, we had the opportunity to participate in some of the events. So I'll be able to guide on what's been going on. So the team, basically, under the leadership of Chairman Bashir Sattar, this is Junaid Ahmed. He's actually currently traveling. Unfortunately, I'm not as good looking and as articulate as he is, but I'll try to do the job. Next, we have basically me and Khurram Galiaba, who is based here in Dubai, trying to do what we can for the Middle East team while we're based here. The youth executives comprise of the following individuals. You would recognize Mohsen Munir, Marvi, Moiz, Sidra Iqbal, Amil, Saud Farooq, and we also have Muzammil Shekhani, who did a tremendous job at M10. Registered members, we are at about 228. These are the following programs. Maiman Share is basically a concept which Junaid created, a very visionary concept whereby if anyone has any stuff that they would like to share with the less fortunate, they can do that by just contacting the youth wing team in Dubai, and we'll come over and collect that, and this is sent over to Pakistan. Usually it started with items that were used, but more importantly, people were very generous enough and were contributing items that were new as well. So this included clothes, toys, school supplies, and so on. It was entirely, you can say, online based. 343 kgs were dispatched, and I think more shipments were shipped in 2020. These are the pictures. Then we had the youth convention. This was a very successful event sponsored by Samana Group, whereby we invited the people into the event and had them say on what and how they would like to participate. And we found some really, really interesting partners into the event. Most importantly, we had Salman Iqbal Ba as one of our chief guests in the event, and Khurram Bhai and Junaid Bhai did the event. Then we have a very interesting project called the Maiman Matrimony event. This was carried forward by Sidra Iqbal and in collaboration with the Ladies Wing. Basically, in this event, this was a very, you can say, important event in the sense that it created a chance for families of the people who are looking for relationships in a very halal environment. And Alhamdulillah, the people who participated were very happy to do so. And I believe a few relationships were formed in this event as well. And then we had the very, very profound experience of M10, where Junaid and his team did an amazing job. A very, very high profile event where we had celebrities coming from Pakistan and very important dignitaries attended the event, and it was one of a very hallmark event for the Middle East. I believe this is it for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being so quick. The next presentation is from the Pakistan chapter, and I have a commitment that it would be crisp and short.
I want to just announce before you start. Immediately after your presentation, we're going to go into the panel discussion, inshallah. So the panel will comprise of Salman Iqbal Ba, our new president, Soli Nurba, our former president, Maimun Shekhani Ba, our new deputy president, Shoaib Ismail Ba, our new secretary for the board of trustees and our former secretary general, and myself. So that panel discussion will follow immediately after Aslan Hashmani's very important briefing of his chapter's performance over the last 3 years. Please proceed, Ba. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, Bashir Ba. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, it's a pleasure to welcome everyone to this conference. Pehle to, I would like to respond to Salman Bha's amazing hand that he's put forward. Salman Bhai, countless times we sat at the AGMs when we all traveled to Dubai, when everybody traveled to Karachi. ऐसा वही ने घणी दफा ही discussions करिया कि अकड़ो मेमनो जो बैंक होनु खपे बैंक हले थी deposits है and there are countless मेमन जिनके पास घना deposits हैं in different banks, and if we could pool those deposits together and somehow give a surety to the investors के ये पैसा किधर नहीं बनेगा, we could somehow create something. Heritage COVID mein, there are a lot of Jamaats that have reached out to the insurance companies and launched insurance programs. Jaise HBL ji ghal thi, similarly Jubilee Insurance is also bought by Aga Khanis. So we could pool in and do something there. Memon TV channel ji ghal thi, there is a very young and very efficient chap in Karachi जो अपना YouTube channel launch करी हुआ है and it's specifically for Memons. He's also doing a great job, and we can bring him on board and get him to execute with obviously some guidance. Heritage startups, time and time again in different presentations, even last year and this year, you've heard from different vice chairmen that some have already executed and some are thinking of executing startups. But again, these are all being done in silos. So we need to pool efforts together. The reason why they're being done in silos is obviously a lack of funding, and because of lack of funding, the scale is smaller. Asabi Akro project ida Kariya Karachi mein by the name of Accelerate, and the vision behind that is that we mentored startups and help startups incubate and grow to scale, with a vision that they will eventually, this program would eventually evolve into a venture capital fund, and the exits from these investments would then eventually fund the venture capital fund and the WMO as well. I would like to introduce my team. Yes, Ghana projects, over 20 projects we have executed in Karachi, in Pakistan, and that has all been done with the support of a team. Minji team mein Yaqub Bahin, Mustafa Diwan, Faizan Wahid, Falak Shekhani, Murtaza Jangra, Sumaya Mathani, and Noman Ahmadani. With this, could you please play the video, a short video of everything that we've executed, so we can quickly get over. So, Jade, when we started this entire effort, so it was a uphill battle शुरू में because कोई as such structure ना बने लोगों, कोई as such membership team ना हुई, and कोई momentum create करना हुआ. And to create this momentum, we organized a launch event in Moonwala Hall में. And पहली दफा we gathered around 800 people, जिनमें Memon leaders were from various different jamaats. There were Memon youth leaders as well, and Memon youth in attendance. Event जो वो just gave us exposure, interest from youth, and momentum. This momentum allowed us to lay out a structure for the Pakistan team and to onboard a team of executives. And together, in the next few years, we executed all of these events, through which we could unite the Memon youth under one banner and to provide them with a platform of growth, learning, aid, and collaboration. To achieve the overall vision, the first task was to create a community we could call our own. We planned a grand event that would create legacy, an event like no other, Titans. The entire purpose of Titans was to create glamour, while at the same time give a proper education and a networking and collaborating effort, whereby people could mingle with each other and create long-lasting relationships. Collectively, over 3,000 people attended Titans 2.0 and 3.0, with thousands others following live over social media. Youth, community leaders, businessmen, social activists, politicians, military personnel, media representatives, etc. They networked with one another and created beautiful new relationships. These relationships gave life to personal connections, business collaborations, and jobs. Heritage Titans की तरह we executed countless other programs, like training programs for engineer and medical students, Accelerate जिनके बारे में already बात ही चुकी है, volunteer appreciation events, bowling competitions, medical camps, and outreach activities to our buddies. Heritage Memon Connect जी pilot भी कराची पाकिस्तान में जो पहले थी भी. Collectively, जितना भी programs के बारे में discussion थी है, over 10,000 people have benefited in person through these programs. And countless others have benefited through social medias by way of live streaming and by way of recorded videos. Our membership ranks through these efforts have increased over the years, and our social media engagement has soared. To sum it up, the foundation stones have been laid. A community of Memon youth is formed. Interest, momentum, and conversation is created. But the work is not done. This is only the beginning of a movement, of an engaged and empowered community that looks after its own, a movement that will nurture, grow, harness, and empower the Memon youth across the world. The work must carry on. We must give nourishment to the sapling that was planted 3 years ago. Today, I can successfully say we have created momentum and interest. We must continue on with this momentum to continue uniting the Memon youth across the world, be it through global exchange programs, professional summer camps, conferences, or social media platform. Lastly, to end this dialogue, I would like to end with a message to our youth that this community cannot exist without you. We Memons are spread across the world. Imagine if we were all connected, all at the same time. Imagine if you knew all Memons across the world. Imagine no matter where you were no matter where you traveled, you would have somebody familiar, somebody who would help you with your career, your life decisions, somebody who would treat you as their own. Such is the power of a global community like WMO. Stay connected, stay engaged, volunteer, and help us create more traction. For together we are one. For together we can do much. Thank you.
Jazakallah, Arslan Ba. I want to take this opportunity to formally record my appreciation, like I've done with all the other RYVCs, for your efforts, your energy, your ability, mashallah, all of you. You've done a sterling job, Ba, and you've made the WMO proud. And inshallah, with this spirit and these types of contributions from our youth and youth leaders, the future is bright, inshallah. I'm really, really proud of all of you. And I'm proud that, we've managed to do some work over the last 3 years, and we'll continue the good work, inshallah, at a greater level, inshallah, over the next 3 years. Jazakallah, Ba. Thank you so much, Ba. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sana?
As Bashir said, we're going to move to panel discussion. I would like to invite our Chief Advisor, Khurram Kalia, who's going to be moderating this very esteemed panel. Khurram bhai, you there?
Thank you, Dr. Sana. Jazakallah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Honorable and respected President Salman Iqbal Bha, all the current and the past OBs, the leaders of the Memon community, my fellow youth wing members, Assalamu alaikum. Gives me immense pleasure to be moderating this esteemed panel. And the idea of the panel is to get some real insights regarding the Global Youth Wing, how they have fared in the last 3 years, how we have fared in the last 3 years, and what is the vision of these respectable leaders of our community? What is it that they look forward to? What is it that they want the Global Youth Wing to be achieving? Apart from the amazing projects announced by Salman Iqbal Bha. So I think it is befitting that I start with this beautiful poetry from Allama Iqbal. नहीं है मायूस इकबाल अपनी कश्ते वीरां से, नहीं है मायूस इकबाल अपनी कश्ते वीरां से, जरा नम हो तो ये मिट्टी बहुत ज़रख़ेज़ है साकी. And I think this really reflects the state of our youth, that with a little bit of nurturing, with a little bit of guidance, they have the immense potential of producing some amazing results. जो आप लोगों ने in presentations में भी देखा कि in a very short time, from 0 to 100 in a very, very short time, they have achieved some amazing results. We have been able to deliver on some amazing projects, but this is just the beginning. This is absolutely just the beginning. There is so much more that we can do. And inshallah, with the esteemed leadership that has come on board now, we intend and we hope and we aspire to deliver a lot more. Having said that, I would like to start off. Sabse pehla, I would like to invite our outgoing past president, Solih Noor Bha, that when you gave this immense responsibility, Solih Bha, to Bashir Sattar to found this independent global youth wing in the overall WMO ambit, what was going on in your mind? What did you have as a vision at that point in time? And what do you expect to happen at that point in time?
Thank you, Khurram. You know, what was and what is, that is the real quantum. If you look at it, when we go back to 2017, what was missing in WMO? There was very little youth that were in active play. Likewise, there were very few ladies that were in active play. And though we valued what youth can do and what youth must do, there wasn't the active play where we wanted them to come to the fore. And like in the corporate world, you got to get the right person, the right CEO to go and do it for you. And we couldn't have found better than Bashir Sattar Bha. So when we designated this to him, I had 100% confidence that he will take it forward. You must remember that we've been working together from the inception as the founder trustees. And he's always been articulate, to the point, and a spade is a spade. He calls it as it is. And there's been many times we've agreed to disagree, but in most cases we've agreed. And this case, there was absolutely no hesitation that you are the CEO, you take it forward and you deliver. He's absolutely delivered. As you said, we're in a starting point. The poetry that you read now is absolutely profound. It sums it up. And as I said in my early address, that I have so much faith in the youth. I just want you to go and do it, because I see it happening on the other boards that I sit. And when I see the activity of the youth on a university board that I sit in South Africa, which is the largest university of South Africa, of Africa, which we have transformed from the colonial 90% white to the population that it's got today, which 80% come from the previously disadvantaged. And when you see that you give them an opportunity, then you realize what comes out of it. And this is what I saw at that time through Bashir Bha, that let's just give them the opportunity and they'll deliver the rest. What do I look forward to? I know that you can deliver more. I know you will do it. But above all, I know that you are the future leaders that will take WMO where I want it to be.
Jazakallah, thank you so much. I remember when the foundations of GYW were being laid, and these were very similar sentiments at that point in time that you expressed at the time as well. So Bashir Bhai, my next question would be to you, that when you were taking this immense responsibility on yourself, what was going on in your mind? What were you thinking? What did you have as your vision and objectives at that time?
Jazakallah Khurumba and Jazakallah Soliba for your kind words. At times I feel I'm not worthy of that type of recognition, but I leave it in the hands of Allah and my elders to guide me always. But you know, when I attended that conference in 2016 at the invitation of Yunus Suleiman Ba, who was the then youth committee chairperson, I was really distraught to see what I saw, and it was a struggle to get the meeting going. A handful of youth turned up barely after they had phone called them and chased them around. And I said to myself, with an aging board, how are we going to fill the vast responsibilities that our forefathers had laid before us? How are we going to do it? And this really, it developed into a passion inside my heart to say, we've got to do something about this. It so happened that Yunus Ba was stepping down because he had work pressures. And, you know, otherwise I'm sure he would have been more than capable to lead the youth in a manner that has now transpired. But he didn't have the time, and he stood down, and Soliba said, Bobby, you know, I believe you can do this. And I was not sure at the time. I was serving on the board of trustees as the assistant secretary, and you know, stepping down, it came into my mind, but I quickly discarded that issue. I said, you know, doesn't matter if you have to go down a few levels, even to an unrecognized position within the organization. If a job needs to be done for the benefit of our community and our organization, then so be it. I left the position on the board. I came down to the unrecognized position as far as the board is concerned, to the chairperson's position of the youth committee, and then we started the work at that point. And it was a daunting task, but alhamdulillah, the encouragement I got from Soliba, Naushad Ba, Mahmoud Ba, Shoaib Ba, you know, that is how we have managed to get here. Yes, I did the work with the team and everything, but if it was not for their support and their encouragement, we wouldn't have got here. No way, it wouldn't have happened. So alhamdulillah, we now have a base upon which to build. It's only a base. And what we see today must be considered that. And what I would say is this: the team to come in must drive this work going forwards. They have to drive it, because unless it's driven, we will not achieve the potential that we have as a youth community, inshallah.
Bha, you have set the bar so high, and I would like to quote Shoaib Bha on this. He has said this many times publicly as well as in private, that formation of GYW is the wisest decision that WMO has ever taken. Yes. So Shoaib, I think
very correct. Exactly. And this was the point I was supposed to address today also, but you had already taken it up. So
I wanted you to enlighten us on that. Why do you feel that Jiva?
Yeah, okay, please. Let's start with your words के जैसे कि आपने कहा कि मिट्टी को नम करना. So मिट्टी जो है अब already नम हो गई है. It's mean के जो बारिश जो पेलो कतरो हुई तो नहीं 3 वर्ष जो बशीर भाई मेहनत करी ने ये अकरे सॉइल सी अकरे सीड सी अकरे नंडी सी शूट कटिया ने जो इंशाल्लाह ताला ई बोडो को पौधो बननो नंबर 1 इंशाल्लाह. Now issue ई वो कि I still remember in his type जी अकरी मीटिंग वी ने बशीर भाई जी गनिया के पांजी जो average life आई, all the office bearers which we are sitting here is average life मजी कुछ जी ना मतलब average life 60 साल सी मथे आई मजी ना भी मतलब बीज का करा तो ये बदे 60 साल सी मथे ने
average age
तो पाके इंजेला कहीं ना की करावाई. So this is how things started. You know, we started with the slogan of our youth, our future. This is how we initially started. You know, in the baad puro system banno yo, the toughest challenge was to adopt and to bring it these things in the constitution, because before we haven't got any cover from the constitution. इनसे पहले भी यूथ विंग भी हूँ. I still remember Jintara, Yunus Suleiman, then there was one chap by the name of Salman in Middle East, Arslan Nara from Pakistan. They used to be the youth chairman before, but they were not having any cover, and there was some concrete thing was supposed to be done within the constitution, and thanks to Almighty Allah that we have done, and now we are taking fruit out of that. And second, जो ही वो के see English में कहता how to bend the bow. आखिर ये बिल्ली के गले में घंटी केर बंदे. So again, thank you very much Bashir Ba that you had taken that. See, अकरो again अकरे उर्दू जी मिसाल आई के अकरे हीरे के वो जौहरीज तराशी सके तो वो हीरे के जो polishing है ना, because हीरा is again a form of a carbon, you know. And all the carbon is the outer shell is 4 electron. Similarly, the diamond is also having a 4 electron is outer shell. But the question was ke inhi ke tarashno say I know personally Arslan Hashmani, but inji jo capability vi I know now ke Dr. Sana Karachi mein itri capable ai. So this thing is only come to in our limelight is because of that platform that has provided by the WMO, mashallah, and looking forward ke inme pa agya bhi gadi cheezon de andar kari sakuta. Please.
Jazakallah, thank you. And I jade mention kariya ghanti ke to asan jabha Mahmood Shekhani special smile kariya. But mashallah say I would like to mention that during all our endeavors of WMO GYW projects, one person that we could always turn to for encouragement and support was Mahmood Shekhani Ba. So thank you so much for that, Mahmood Ba. What was going on in your mind throughout these 3-year journey? How do you see GYW, the projects that have been done, the amazing leadership of Bashir Ba, and the beautiful, talented RYVCs and RY executives that we have been able to identify and polish in the 3 years? What are your thoughts?
Kuramba, thank you very much. Jazakallah Bobo. ये जो स्टार्ट करिया हुआ जो मट्टी नम भी बशीर भा मट्टी के इतरो नम करी दीनिया कि मुझे भी जो है ना अट्रैक्ट करी ने लंदन बरगाई दीनिया. So I am part of that num matti, but see I have seen Bashir Bha's work, Bashir Bha's intention for the community, his passion, you know, something we all should have. बशीर भाई के तो मतलब मैं तो पर्सनली जो है ना एविडेंट करता हूँ कि कभी-कभी तो इनके घर में भी मसले हो जाते हैं. ये इतने पैशनेट.
महमूद भाई मेमनी प्लीज. मैं
मिक्स कर देखो मैंने कल कहा था कि मैं कोशिश करूंगा मेमनी
प्लीज गो अहेड
मैच करूंगा मेमनी को कि आओ नारियों में बशीर भाई के घर में भी कड़े फसाद सी में तो ही इज सो पैशनेट अबाउट WMO एंड स्पेशली GYW. बशीर भा जिस तरह लोगों को जो तराशने की बात हुई पानारियां यूं कि बशीर भा used to give 2 to 3 hours or maybe 4 or 5 hours to interview the right people, the right candidates coming out. और यही तराशना होता है, यही लोगों को निकालना होता है. और बशीर भाई ने एक बेंचमार्क सेट कर दिया है और आने वाली जो GYW की टीम है उनका एक टारगेट होगा, उनको एक बेंचमार्क बशीर भाई ने दिया है, वो उनको सेट करना पड़ेगा खुरम भाई. और दे हैव टू कंटिन्यू इन द सेम मैनर और मे बी इन अ गुड मोर प्रोडक्टिव मैनर और प्रोएक्टिव मैनर जिसमें GYW आगे और प्रॉस्पर कर सके. और मैंने देखा है एक और बात कि जिस तरह हमारे जो सोली भाई थे, जिस तरह सोली भाई की सपोर्ट रही है इस वेंचर को, इस GYW को आगे बढ़ाने में, हर चीज में, चाहे वो कनेक्ट हो, चाहे वो दूसरी चीजें हो. सोली भाई वाज ऑलवेज ऑन द फ्रंट फुट सेइंग लाइक यू नो कि बशीर भाई गो ऑन डू इट. और जो आज सलमान ने और जो अपने वसीम की प्रेजेंटेशन थी, यू नो वसीम की प्रेजेंटेशन में आई वाज फीलिंग, यू नो मुझे मतलब अंदर से बूस्ट मिल रहा था, अंदर से एनर्जी मिल रही थी. और वसीम की प्रेजेंटेशन को जैसे सलमान भाई ने जान डाल दी हो ऐसे लग रहा था. तो वसीम Very good. Very
Off
good.
to you,
Thank you
Wasim.
so
Very
much,
well
sir.
done.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, Jaan dal di thi, because I absolutely connected and I was like, oh my God, this is what we want to do and this is happening.
He could not have asked for a better start, huh, Wasim?
Yeah,
He
definitely.
could not have asked for a better start. Mehboob bhai, you are absolutely right. One of the reasons that I personally came on board and enjoyed thoroughly the last 3 years working with Bashir Bha was that we have run this organization like a corporate. We structured it like a corporate. He laid the foundations for it in a way that it is organized, it's structured, documented. Everything was done in a projectized fashion. Everybody was given opportunity to lead projects, contribute to projects, irrespective of the designations. Everybody was involved. It was an inclusive style of management, mashallah. So hats off for that, Bashir Bha.
एक और बात खुरम, एक और बात मैं इसमें ऐड करूंगा कि जब हमारी डिस्कशन हो रही थी, तुम पर्सनली आई वांटेड बशीर भा, और मैंने बशीर भाई को बड़ा पुश भी किया, बशीर भाई को कहा भी, मैंने कहा बशीर भाई इफ वी वांट WMO इस तरह लेके अगर हमें चलना है पैशनेट होके, तो यू शुड कम एज अ सेक्रेटरी जनरल ऑफ WMO. और सलमान को भी मैंने कहा सलमान, बशीर भाई इज द राइट चॉइस एंड बशीर भाई कैन ब्रिंग अ चेंज व्हाट वी वांट. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह शोएब भाई ने भी पूरी कोशिश की, शोएब भाई ने भी बिल्कुल एज अ सेक्रेटरी जनरल अपनी जिम्मेदारियां पूरी अच्छी तरीके से निभाई और अच्छे तरीके से जो है ना.
Now he has been entrusted with another very important responsibility on the board of trustees. So I'm sure that he'll continue to shine, inshallah. Shabana Appa, I think that the ladies wing and the youth wing needs to work a lot more cohesively. पांची डिस्कशन में ये बात कई मरतबा डिस्कस करिया यूं कि the ladies wing and the youth wing मिली ने कम करन projects में मिली ने contribute करन, उनसे वो वधारे जो है results, much better results can be produced. So I would like to request you to share your views on that and how going forward you see the ladies wing and the youth wing working in a more cohesive, more coherent and more synergistic fashion, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I was actually so overwhelmed by everything that everybody said, and it's so nice to see how all the other chapters are working, especially the youth. This has been our, like Soli uncle and my late father and all the other Wadis said, that youth is the backbone of our organization. And when I joined WMO, I was just out of university and there was no youth there. And I could not fit myself anywhere. So I had to just sit in the middle and be where I could say. But now, after looking at what Bashir Bhai has done with the youth, global youth wing, it's really overwhelming. And like I have always said previously as well, that the youth and the ladies wing can work very well together. Because now, if we have the ladies, the young ladies in the youth wing and the young gentlemen in the youth wing, this will work as a two-pronged strategy. First of all, we are grooming them to be our future leaders. We do not want all the present people who are always there on the ladies group, also in the various committees, in the various chapters, to continue for a very long time. We need groomed leaders to come forward. How are we going to get that? We are going to get that from the youth wing. Obviously, they're going to graduate from the youth and then come to the ladies wing or to the men wing, right? Similarly, my plan that I have been saying for a very long time, and inshallah, I will implement it this time through my various chapters, is that have a kids club and have a teens club. So we have a smooth transition. From the kids, they go to the teens, and from the teens, they go to the youth, and from the youth, they go to the main committee. So we won't have that issue.
Guys, sorry, Shabana Bhai, Salman Bhai has to leave for the airport right now.
Okay.
Just can we come back? Can we just quickly ask Salman Bhai quickly just say a few words before he goes about the about this?
Certainly.
So just parting shots. Salman Bhai, quickly. Salman Bhai.
Where is he now?
Very quickly, Bhai.
He's on mute.
He's off. He's not on.
He's there.
No, he's there. Salman Bhai.
Where is he now?
There he is. Salman, bro, you're on mute. Okay.
I am so sorry. I have been listening to all of you. I have to take a flight. I have, Bashir Bhai requested me to stay back.
So sorry, Ba. I'm so delighted you, Ba. I'm so sorry to delay you today. Really, I'm sorry.
While I was listening to you, Mahmood, Shabana Appa, Shoaib Bha, Soli Bha, everybody, I was packing myself. I was packing quickly. I'm sitting in my dressing room, packing and listening to the conversations. मुझे ये गाल आज बोलनी है कि मुझे ख्याल से I'm one of the newest members of WMO. I was registered as a patron in 2002 when WMO was incorporated. कुछ हारिस साहब भदे के चारे भाई के भदे के जो है ना चारे भाई के चारे बच्चे के भदे के बनाई दुनिया पेट्रन ने होलसेल में हाँ मैं आऊँ हमेशा नानो होस के शमाहा पर जी शादी हुए या मुझे भारी शादी हो या मुझे शादी हुए तो सोली भा इकबाल सकरानी everybody was always there with Hari Saab. Hari Saab की passion वो WMO में 2 बार पहले मुझे पास महमूद शानी ने बशीर सत्तार ने खुरम कालिया ऑफिस आ गया वहाँ कराची में मुझे कन्विंस करी दिया हुआ कि आएंगे WMO के अंदर इन्वॉल्व थी नो आएंगे गाल करनी है I think it was the AGM. I think it was 17th.
It's a B2B conference. B2B
conference.
Yeah.
It was the Karachi conference. So I reluctant was because मेरे पास after Hari Saab I've been given a lot of work to do from the
yeah.
तो आऊँ जितना पैशन ना रियोस ना बशीर पैशन के अलावा आऊँ पैशन आए भदे में ना आ तो मतलब कि जड़े भी I call Soli Bha, it's never been a call less than an hour. Never. Me and Soli Bha have had discussions about WMO, about the politics in WMO, about the issues in WMO, and we've gone on and on and on and on. And Bashir Bha, 4 दिन पहले, election से 4 दिन पहले, मुझे phone करने चोन था. Bashir Bha, please don't mind this, okay? कि Salman Bha, you're so busy. आई responsibility की संभालना. तो आऊँ बशीर भाई की गाल सुनी आप बिल्कुल खामोश. I'm not a very quiet person. It's very difficult for me to be quiet.
I know.
Yeah.
We all know that.
5 minutes, I just let Bashir Bhai speak and I went quiet. And then I told Bashir Bhai said he has to go to a doctor for his wife. Mashallah, she's doing very well now. Alhamdulillah. So I'll call you back. And Bashir Bhai never called me back because he was so scared that he said something to me that that I might take it offensive. So that night I sat with my father, and we were having dinner. And आने के बाद आऊँ ने मुझे डैडी कमरे में बैठा हुआ. So I, mom and my dad and everybody sitting in the garden. I asked my father. I said, "Papa, I can लगे तो क्या हूँ कई सिग्नल से? I can लगे तो क्या हूँ responsibility संभाली signals." So he said to me one thing which I just cannot forget. He said to me, "Beta, बाकी बधा भी लगे नहीं ना. Soli Bha, Sattar Dada, Iqbal Sakrani, all the Vadils, Bashir Bha, Mahmood Shekhani, Shoaib Bha, everybody बधा लगे नहीं ना. इसलिए अभी इतना corporate businesses इतना कम इन मुझे बावजूद ये खुद ही community से dedicated इन. अखरी बीच की जो important गाल मुझे चिया मुझे कि रज़ाक भा was busy in the gold business, was busy in the construction business, was busy in assisting the Pakistan government for financial issues. उनके बावजूद डी के अंदर 2 कलाक WMO को जरूर देना हुआ.
Every day.
तो बेटा तू कलाक नहीं सुनो WMO के. तो my father said that he was never for WMO. He always said कि WMO might be a waste of time. I'm being very frank. It might be a waste of time, but for the last 2 years, I have seen all of you so dedicated with the passion you have with WMO, and especially the youth. You know, the presentations that you have shown us today, the presentations that you have shown us last year, and the kind of involvement you have. I've seen Khurram Kalia sit with me for hours and discussing about the WMO. I've seen Shoaib Ba giving me a call every day. I phone if I'm late for any meetings, I get a message from Mahmood and Bashir Ba, ke, are you coming or not? So I just love this passion. I just love this passion from all of you. You know, we have everybody right now. You know, Razia Appa ko hum nari, Razia Appa has been there in every meeting. She sits there in that lovely sofa of us, you know, dedicatedly. And I've seen her in every meeting. She sits there and listens to everybody. And you know, this is the passion that we have for WMO. And I honestly feel that great Hari Saab, you know, kal make mujo bha make message moklyo ake mubarak ho WMO president. I just ke मुझे लगे तो रज़ाक भाई शॉक्ड भी होना या खुश भी होना आज शॉक इल्ले होना कि वो रज़ाक भाई मुझे इतना बोलना बाबा मुझे इतना बोलना हुआ कि बेटा तू अखरी मीटिंग में चाहिए तो अखरी मीटिंग में चाहिए आज यार बता मुझे नहीं आता मीटिंग में अगर आओ जो पैशन ना तो है बधे अंदर everybody from the youngest participant of the GYW to our mentors like Soli Bha and Shoaib Bha and Bashir Bha. You know, this is so, you know, it sometimes makes me, you know, want to say things that, you know, I'm not a very emotional person. I'm a very, you know, stable person. I just don't show my emotions at all. मुझे इकबाल सकरानी बात से मुझे गाल थी फोन थे तो इकबाल बाप मुझे चुनता कि बेटा बाकी ई करना हुआ. I know Iqbal Ba for 20 years now. I knew him when I was in London when I started my TV station. When he was so busy with MCB, the Muslim Council of Britain, he was always there. And I saw him working day and night. And Soli Ba with all his business empire, Satta Dada with all his business empire, they're always dedicated. और चूंकि पाक क्लैन है कैसे बस तो मुझे ये ड्रीम है. आई थिंक बदे वडील जो ड्रीम है कि पाके ये बदी टोटल WMO के पाके अक्ल साथ करना हुआ है. And I'm telling you, the only way we can get this all together and get all this sorted out is if we have the young blood with us. We have to have the global youth wing. We have to figure out, Bashir Ba, in the next 15 days, who's the next chairman of GYW. And that person has to lead and has to lead by example. It has to be better than you, Bashir Ba.
Inshallah, definitely.
It has to be better than you, Bashir Ba.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I know
well, you better be willing to invest on Tesla to go to Mars to find somebody like that.
He's already copying out this guy, huh?
Yeah. Startup fund hai. I yakin kar ja कि the top businessmen of India, Pakistan, South Africa, you know, worldwide is Memons. पाजे पास इतना दिमाग है कि अंदाजा हुआ कि जो I was listening to Wasim and Wasim said that the Jain group collected 100 crore rupees. ये कुछ भी ना है पाजे लाए.
हाँ, की भी नहीं.
ये पहले peanuts है. The kind of ideas that we expect from the young global wing of we will make this over $100 million. We will raise $100 million because who wouldn't in his sane mind want to invest with the Memon? Who wouldn't? Tell me. You know, we are the brains of the business. You know, Memons, मुझे कोई चित्ता के Memon की पा बनी सकूता. Memon, you cannot be a Memon. You have to, you know,
have the DNA.
A Memon. You have to be born a Memon. पाटे पैदा करना सबसे पहले बात पैदा करने बाद चूता ना कि यार ये पारीरा छोकरी आवी है छोकरो आवी है ना पारीरा Memon आवी हुआ है ना. So Memon अखरी कैफियत है अखरी बहुत बड़ी कैफियत है Memon ना. ये तो आसान नहीं Memon बननो. पा सजो डी रात पा सोचो के पा बिजनेस में की आगे वच्चे तो के नाइ चाइनो के पा मेमन्स इन्वेस्ट कर जाए and I know the great ideas that Memons will come up with, inshallah, will make this मुझे को चाहिए हो कि let's talk to Silicon Valley. I said forget the Silicon Valley, let's make a Memon Valley. You know, we have the ideas that we Memons can grow crazy. Look at us in Pakistan, the top business people are Memons. If you look at every sector in Pakistan, reason why I talk about Pakistan is because Pakistan has the largest population of Memons. Top people are Memons. The top people are Memons.
Can you please everybody mute?
Because somebody
Imran bhai, can you mute everybody, please?
Eco is from Shehzad Iqbal. Can you please mute Shehzad Iqbal?
So, you know, Pa, agar chahiye na, Bashir Ba, what you have done, Swali Ba, what you have let Bashir Bhai do is the biggest thing the WMO can have, is the Memon Global Youth Wing. And I have to leave now, but we have a lot of time and we can inshallah have this. We should have, somebody said that, you know, we should let the AGMs and the MC meetings be handled by the youth wing.
I told you that.
Yeah, exactly. You did that, and I think what happened in Karachi, the whole AGM was organized by the youth wing. Am I correct?
The B2B conference. The B2B conference. Yeah.
It was just amazing the way it was set up. Yeah. So we should give this to the youth wing to handle our future, and then from there we move forward. And I'm telling you, we have to forget about all the positions. We have to, what I said yesterday in my speech, and I really mean that. I don't care if I'm the president of WMO. I'm just one of the soldiers of WMO. There is no position in WMO. Nobody is the GYW chairman. Nobody is the president. Nobody is the secretary. Nobody is. We are known by our work, and we will have to be known by our work.
Inshallah.
We have to have platforms where we have the patrons, the trustees, everybody at the same level. And of course, we have to give credit to the Vadils. We have to give credit to our mentors. We have to give credit to people who donate to the WMO.
Sure.
That is the most important thing. Okay. They are the presidents and the secretary generals and the vice presidents of WMO. The people who put their hands in their pocket and they give it and they trust WMO for that. That's what we want. You know, if I as a president cannot lead from the front, I should not be the president. So the person who is the highest donor of WMO should be known as the president of WMO. They should be promoted. They should be pushed. They should be allowed to do what they want for WMO. And inshallah, all of us together will make this a great community and will make sure that we promote this community. Thank you so much, guys. I have to go now.
Jazakallah,
Salman. Jazakallah, Salman. I presented. Sorry, Ba, you were saying.
Kurumba, can I come in a minute, please?
Jiba. Sure.
Yeah, no, very, very potent and wise words from our president. Kurumba, you know, the game changer that really changed everything in 2017 when we formed GYW was that we made it part of the constitution.
Yes.
It became part and parcel. And I think the same thing will have to happen with the ladies' wing. If we can bring it and align it like the youth wing, that would be the beginning. And I think Bashir Ba would agree with it.
Yes,
we're working on it, Sali.
We're working on that with Shabana Bhai and a group of.
I'm going to listen to your conversation, but I'm going to go start my packing game. Okay.
Sure.
I'll still be there. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Ba. Thank you so much. Soliba, Shabana Bhai has started the initiative to create GLW, Global Ladies Wing, and I'm working with them to create this, to start looking at the structure and then to make a proposal to the office bearers, board of trustees, and MC, and then subsequently to the AGM, like we did with the GYW process.
Okay.
So that's ongoing. It started and will produce the results in the next couple of months, inshallah.
And
Inshallah.
Bashir Bhai would remember that we made a presentation on Maiman Capital Fund, and the Shark Tank program that was part of the Maiman Connect. Inshallah, Salman Bha's initiatives are amazing. Beautiful words, really breathe life and energy into the whole community and the whole organization. With this, I think that we are really short of time. I will just request each of the panelists one by one that if you were to put one objective, one only, what objective would that be for the GYW to achieve in the next 3 to 6 years? Just one. Soliba, I would like to request you to start, and then.
Thank you, Kurumba. I think my entire time at WMO, and now even when we started this panel discussion, I've clearly set out the targets that, you know, what I want achieved from the youth. The bar is high, but I want it even higher. As I said, I don't only want you to nurture and raise the youth which we have. We want to give you the latitude to do what you want, but giving you the latitude and giving you all that, I expect you to raise the bar even higher and to show, look, we can do it better. And as you said, you know, leave the AGMs to us. You know, I totally believe in the youth. I mean, I see it with my own daughter. I mean, you know, after she qualified as a chartered accountant, she runs our group. I mean, she runs with Jubair Ba with the magazine. She raises 4 children. She sits on many foundations. The youth can do that because they have the goal. And yet you wonder when Salman Ba asked, now, can I do it? Of course he can do it. There is no limit to the human mind, and there's no limit to the soul. You can push it to the level you want. They say the mind that you use now is only 10% of what you're using. There's still 90% emptiness. So with the youth, I expect it even to take it higher. Not only expect, but I know they will. And the only way they do is give them the latitude to do it. That's why when I said earlier, go and do it. I know you will do it. But only problem is then Shabana Bai will have to keep up with you. And I think she will have to, whether she likes it or not. But I expect
She will,
that to
inshallah.
happen.
We have no doubt
Thank
she
you.
will.
Yes.
With your blessings, inshallah, I will.
Inshallah.
No, I will.
Definitely.
No, I have no
Definitely.
doubt. Thank you.
Inshallah.
In fact, it should be a very healthy competition, Shabana Appa, that we both, the youth wing and the ladies wing, competes to outperform each other while collaborating and working together, inshallah. Of course.
Work together, no competition.
To raise the bar higher, you can't live without competition. Okay. Bashir Bhai,
You know, Kurumbai.
I know you.
No, Kurumbai. If you cannot push the bar higher, and if you have no expectation, what is it all worth? I mean, you got to aim for the
Very
sky
true.
and blow
Very
the
true.
stars.
Very true. Very true. I keep telling myself sometimes that I don't have anybody else to compete with, I start competing with the mirror. So you just keep improving against yourself. Bashir Bhai,
Well,
over to you.
don't forget the famous song by Michael Jackson, "The Man in the Mirror." So you can go there and look at yourself and say, "I've made it."
Bashir, one objective.
Yeah, one objective, Ba. Let your work do the talking. Let your work do the talking. Don't look for glory. Don't look for medals. Don't look for a pat on the back. Let your work do the talking. If you really are sincere about serving our community, about serving humanity, about developing yourself, then focus on the work. Stay away from interpolitics, stay away from fitna, and keep it clean and tidy in your mind, in your heart, and inshallah you will succeed.
Beautiful. Reminds me of a beautiful small poetry. कह रहा है शोरे दरिया से समंदर का सुकूत. कह रहा है शोरे दरिया से समंदर का सुकूत. जिसमें जितना ज़र्फ है उतना ही वो खामोश है. So I think absolutely let the work do the talking. Shweba, one objective that we are already the best decision that WMO made. How can we become better?
One sentence is, Maiman legacy must continue. I mean, this is this thing we have to carry on. If we don't adopt this thing right now, our forefather legacy, our culture, our tradition, our food, our tehzeeb, our tamaddun, so we will be lost. Nah? So this is the most important thing. Secondly, of course, we have to believe on our youth. The issue is that, typically in our culture, the Memon culture, the Buddhas, they are all sitting on the wealth, and they're not trusting of the youngster. So we have to change this mentality. And third thing, sort of a idea. I mean,
you were taking away all the things from everybody else. I said only one. Like, buy one, get two free.
Last thing. What I've seen during my tenure as a VP, the youth wing chairman, they were running from pillar to post for the fund. Being a chairman of the, by being the secretary of the trust, I will definitely put this thing to the president, to my WMO team, as well as my trust team, that we should we should allocate certain amount of fund for the activities of the youth, because see, they are in their initial stage of career. They are just starting their career. So how we can ask them to go and collect the money and do the project? So if we support them, apart from the theoretical side, we have to see the practical side also.
Absolutely.
Without funds is nothing, no? Right? And
Put your money where your mouth is.
tu shahi hai basera kar asmanon ke chatanon par. So these are all Shaheen. We have to rely on them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ba. Thank you so much. Beautiful words. Mahmood Ba.
One thing, when Mahmood Bhai is finished and Shabana Bhai is finished, can we please have a session quickly before we end up, asking our audience to give them an opportunity to ask questions or to speak, please.
That's the next agenda of the item. Just let's finish with Mahmood Bhai and Shabana.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quickly.
भाई वो जो है ना, वो शुएब भाई ने तो इतने सारे आइडियाज दे दिए, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स दे दिए, तो हमारे पास तो जो है ना एक ही
बचा नहीं।
ऑब्जेक्टिव
आप मेरे को पहले से फोन पे बात कर लेते, तो आ जाते बात लेते।
बांट लेते ना कि मैं ये बोलूंगा, मैं ये बोलूंगा।
अच्छा सी गुरम, द पॉइंट इज,
लेकिन मैंने एग्जाम के क्वेश्चन जो है ना रिवील नहीं किए थे, अभी आए।
खुर्रम ऑन लाइटर साइड, ये पहले मेरा डिप्टी था, अब सलमान का डिप्टी है, अब बच के रहना पड़ेगा इससे।
और इसका क्या जवाब दूंगा? चले, सोली भाई, व्हाट सोली भाई वाज सेइंग, गिव देम द पावर, ट्रस्ट देम एंड लेट देम डू, and they will achieve.
Inshallah. We intend to. And I think you have seen the beautiful, beautiful work that the youth has already performed. And with youthful president and deputy president who are actually very, very capable of being part of the youth wing itself, we are hoping that we'll have a lot more support. Shabana Appa, with your last words, we will then move to question and answer session. Quickly.
I think that the youth has been given the platform. Now the objective of the youth should be to attract more youth, to bring in more youth, more people in, and work towards the passion of WMO. Not forgetting the passion of WMO, with what passion WMO has started. We have the youth, we want more youth, more empowerment. That's what I would think.
Yes, I think that's a very good point. With that point, membership committee, whoever chairs it, should be very, very has their work cut out, really. I mean, if WMO is going to be the truly representative organizations of Memons all over the world, for sure, our numbers in memberships have to reflect that as well. So that's an area that is definitely lacking. And inshallah, the youth, the ladies wing, and the main board, all of them will have to work together to achieve that, those numbers.
Inshallah.
And in my personal opinion as well, I think all the points that have been said by our elders are amazing. Youth wing needs to continue to produce the leaders of tomorrow. We need to continue to produce the Salman Iqbals, the Mehmood Shekhanis, the Bashir Sattars, and Dr. Sana Darweshes of the world. And
sorry guys, I have to leave, Khurram. So Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much, Salman, for your time.
Safe trip,
I think we have taken a lot of your time earlier also. We have had many discussions on the youth wing, and inshallah, we'll see a beautiful youth wing shaping up in the time.
Inshallah.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Allah Hafiz. All of you, Assalamu alaikum.
Safe trip.
Thank you. With this, I open up the floor. We have a very limited time left because we took a little longer than expected. But if there are any comments or questions from the floor,
Can I ask Iqbal Sakrani wants to make a comment?
Sure, sure.
And then please continue with the roster of Q&As coming on with their hands up, please. Okay, after that.
Sure, sure.
Iqbal Ba?
Jazakallah Bashiba and Kurumba. What can I say? Alhamdulillah, this was the day we had all of us had dreamt for, those who've been involved in the very inception of the WMO. Yakrodi Irul Achno, ke panja heri wing bi ubithivani and hera youngsters je panja samne and jin jo jazbat energy alhamdulillah ne khayalat era sarain ke inshallah they can be successful. मुझे सिर्फ वो चीज़ जो लोग लेके बड़े गालियों थी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बहुत सारी गालियों थी and it's really heartening to see the feeling that is coming up. मुझे वो गालियों वो point अगर remind करने it may have come earlier when join answer late थी वैसे but ये पांच पहली conference थी never ever forget what the youth have done for WMO. You see, today we see these Buddhas and white hair, and but I was called last night by one very close friend, Kanipa Buddha thi gayi. I was wondering, to Buddha thi gaya tha, ji to young ki mashallah, ji to bade kam kaj karu tha. But we are now over 50s and 60s, and sadly we are seeing that we are Buddhas. But when the WMO was established over 20 years ago, the people you see today
were the youth, of course.
At that time, the youngsters.
Absolutely.
They were in their late 30s and 40s. Now, but this was the team that built WMO that you are seeing today. So don't ever forget what youth can do. They established the foundation of WMO. And he did vision, a vision opening speech in Dubai, 2001, we mentioned this. And the friends of all the elders at that time, over the 50s and 60s. And I remember, I'm sure those of Bashiba, Solibam, many of these people, Shuaib, but this was the age. They were in their 30s and 40s at that time.
Yes, mashallah.
Yes. And we said that we were, at that time, we were a good youth group there. Of the perhaps 100, 150 delegates, I think 25, 30 were of our age.
Mashallah.
And we mentioned at that time, okay, unless and until that extent, and it was endorsed by the founding members, all the founding members endorsed Korea. So it is an important precedent to be established. But the youth did start WMO. And the youth continued the good work. Look at Zubair Chashmawala. In terms of our magazine marketing material, who is it? A young person who has been involved into it. We look into the other work under Pakistan youngsters in India. I've seen that India, what I've recently come across in terms of my interaction with as a collection, youth who have been building upon that. So it's a reminder. It's a reminder that we need to tackle. That's one point. Second quick point, okay, of course, as everybody said, Panji loyalty, Panji passion, we must get our house in order first. As a Memon community through WMO is our body, right? Let's get that in order. And then Memon cannot just remain there. Memon needs to give that energy, that Allah Ta'ala's intelligence for the betterment of our entire Muslim Ummah.
Inshallah.
Ummah is lacking leadership, is lacking. That is the Panjamat Zulm and the theory. It came in their Karno. A Memon has to take a lead. So please, we need to move forward. And of course, and our hope and prayer that every Memon youth that is here, you just can't be involved in WMO. No. There are institutions that need us. And we should open that opportunity by giving you, like I recently mentioned to a GYW chair in Europe chapter, the conferences agenda, delegation agenda. I've invited youth to various international conferences, right? Let them come in as speakers. So we should open our youth. And I plead to them that please, I hope the GYW, the new sort of team that comes in, but the international organization that members you, right? Make sure that our member youth are brought in. But
that's a beautiful idea, Ba. Jazakallah. Thank you so much. I think both the points are very valuable and very well noted, taken. Thank you so much, Iqbal Bhai. Your words are always very valuable. Your advice is always very valuable. Razia Bhai, next, you're up. You wanted to say something? Your hand is raised. Razia Bhai.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
सना बधे से पहला जड़े सना बोली नेपोटिज्म के बारे में तो आऊं चाहती कि आऊं मुझे अक्सर हारी है बधे थे तो घना बेचारा जो वर्दी रहता जो टैलेंटेड रहता है लोग के पास नेपोटिज्म अच्छे तो फेवरिज्म अच्छा था इल्ले दे लोग वास्ते रही बनता वो स्किलफुल रहता है वो डेडिकेटेड रहता है वर्कर्स ये लोग के पास इंजल दे लोग पाछा धकेला ही बनता है जो वर्दी नहीं रहना लोग आगे आची बनते हैं मुझे अक्सर हारी है घने के रूप बनने तो पा ये ना विजन में हेरो आई जो करो कि यूथ में कि कोई लेडीज में कि कोई में भी हेरी चीज ना थे जिससे जो वर्दियन बेचारा वो पाछा रह बिना ने जो ना हुन वर्दी उन लोग पागल करेंगे तो इस सना भी गाल करी नेपोटिज्म में कितने बहुत साल हुए कि ने फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम ये के पाई इनके ऊपर गिनिया सवाल के
Panjo, the time nay, otherwise I would have told you a story of how in at least GYW we have always made merit the only and the primary, not just the primary, but the only method of decision making. But right now, I would like to move forward because of the lack of time. Ahsan Gadawala Ba, you were up next. Your hand was up next. Ahsan Ba. Ahsan Ba, are you there?
Alhamdulillah.
You're always there, mashallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Can you hear me, right?
Ji ba.
Assalamu alaikum. Bashir Ba, heartily congratulations. When you started GYW, I remember the last year you didn't have anybody from Indian team, right? And you wanted that you form something in India. I want the youth to come from India. And 1 year, Wasim and Alhamdulillah, many youth you have seen. तो मुझे जरा सोली बा का रिक्वेस्ट करनी है कि भाई ऐसा जो यूथ के भी थोड़ा का वीडियो कि इंडिया जो यूथ इज डूइंग गुड तो ये छोकरा और एनकरेज थी सोली बा आई थोड़ा इंडिया जो यूथ ला भी 1 year में they have worked very hard and really they have worked very hard in 1.5 years. I think so Basir bhai will agree to that. And hearty congratulations to all the youth. They are doing good job and we will see that whatever the best we can do in our youth, we will try to put them more on. जी बशीर बा
एहसान बा आई ने जो मेहनत करी है ये संजय साथ में सेंट्रल बोर्ड के साथ में यूथ के कायम करने लाए इन स्ट्रक्चर कायम करने लाए आई जे रीजन में ये बहुत बड़ा काम करी है बा आई ने अने हाँ आओ आवियो सी आई जे गांव में 2007 में जब मार्च में आवियो सी मुंबई ने ऐसा करिया वास तो जो पाके जो रिजल्ट उनमें मेरी हो it took a little while that while lagi but alhamdulillah we got there and the team in India mashallah I'm so proud of them not just Wasim bhai but the entire team that he's leading behind. Don't think I don't know guys, by the way. I know who is behind, I know what's going on, although I may not interact with you on a day-to-day basis like Wasim bhai does. I know each one of you. I know mashallah you are amazing people and you have a lot of potential. Ehsan bhai, jazakallah khair. Thank you so much.
Last 3 comments.
खाली अगलो सोलीबा के खास करीने असा जब बच्चा है चुनाव के सोलीबा केर की इंडियन यूथ लाइ करीने भी उकरण कारण के सोलीबा के आइडिया ना हो तो एकड़ी मेरी पर्सनल रिक्वेस्ट भी सोलीबा के because that you know youth wanted to listen from them.
Sure. Okay,
but
we have to
move Soliba is there.
Samba, we have to move on. Soliba, can you just reply to Ehsan?
Sorry, Bashir bhai, it's too late. I know. It's okay, Soliba. Please go ahead, Bashir bhai.
Okay, thank you, ba. Thank you.
I think so. Soliba is.
I can only take 2 or 3 more, maximum 3 more. Altaf Bayani ba from Pakistan chapter. Altaf.
But before you go ahead, can I just reply Ehsan Bhai? It will take a minute.
Yeah, go ahead, ba.
You know, Ehsan Bhai gave me a call one night and he said, you know, we are being neglected as the youth wing. And I said, that's impossible. I said, let me get Bashir Bhai on the line while you were on. And we spoke to Bashir Bhai and within 5 minutes, everything was sorted out. So alhamdulillah, it all worked out well. Super. Let's move on. Thank you.
Exactly. Altaf. I would
Yes,
request everybody to please keep it short and sweet because we are really running out of time. Thank you.
Sure. Everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Altaf Bayani from Pakistan. I just, before one suggestion, आऊं हसे वकड़ी गाल करनो के जरे 2017 जना एडो में यूथ विंग के एस्टैब्लिश प्रॉपर्ली एस्टैब्लिश करला के ने बशीर बा दुनिया जा घाम घाम घूमी रहा हुआ ही शायद सबसे वडी इन जी सक्सेस स्टोरी जो पार्ट हो पाकिस्तान में जरी आविया हुआ ने हर गांव में विनी ने उते जे प्रॉपर यूथ लीडर्स से मिली रहा हुआ ने अंदाजो कर रहा हुआ कि किन टीम से की मिलनो आए तो शायद ही जी सक्सेस है जिन्हें पा आज बशीर बा केतरो एप्रिशिएट करी रहा हूं तो नंबर 1 आई आल्सो अप्रिशिएटेड ने हकड़ो शेरो शायरी हली रिया सिर्फ अकड़ो शेर ले कर पढ़नो के हमने खैरात में ये फूल नहीं पाए हैं हमने खैरात में ये फूल नहीं पाए हैं खूने दिल सर्व किया है तो बाहर आइए ने इजे बात सिर्फ अखड़ी सजेशन में जी खास तौर से के यूथ लीडर्स जो हाने सिलेक्शन थीन वारो है इंटरनेशनली तो मुझे ई सजेशन हुनी कि यूथ लीडर 40 से 50 वर्ष के दरमियान जो हुनु खपे इनजी वजह ही है कि मुझे एक्सपीरियंस है कि कड़े 50 से 3 वर्ष 20 ने 3 के दरमियान जो हुए तो वो जो करियर ओरिएंटेड करियर में एस्टैब्लिश इन जो टाइम हुए तो बेहतर ये है कि पा थोड़े मारू के लगे तो ही कि शायद वडी एज थी नहीं ने यूथ में ना हुनु खपे लेकिन शायद यूथ के पूरी दुनिया जी यूथ के भेगो हलाल कने एकड़े एरेज तजुर्बेकार ने एक्सपीरियंस मारू जी जरूरत हुई थी तो आई रिक्वेस्टेड के इन जो एज जो है वो 40 to 50 के दरमियान होनी खपे थैंक यू सो मच
थैंक यू last Bashir bhai with your permission can I take one more last one before we
please I mean no advocate Yamin Thara once he's had his hand up for quite a while
yes
allow Shehzad bhai also to speak
okay then the last two
yeah I think Mahmood bhai is also wanting to say something
Mahmood bhai also wanted to say
okay Yamin Thara first please quickly
Assalamu alaikum everyone Yamin Thara here just a small suggestion क्योंकि पावजन suggestion दिया था तो नंदो से suggestion देना चाहिए how about arranging a web series for all GYW chapters where all youth can interact with each other chapters youth क्योंकि ने बदन वटे अलग-अलग ideas उनता WMO NIC वटे ideas in projects in Far East वटे chapters in alhamdulillah Pakistan chapter बहुत सारो कम करी है so why not coming on a single platform जिरा बदन youth हके भी से interact करी सिकन right now 90 plus youth are attending this session pa 90 plus जो को group form थियो खपे जिरा पा पाइंडो point of view put up करी सिकुंता Pakistan chapter Far East chapter Middle East chapter बदन पोते point of view put up करी सिकंता देखो strong bonding बनी first of all and second thing ये नो के idea sharing जो जैसे overall development कनु बदन ला आसान थी नो the single platform will create a good impact that's it thank you
Jazakallah, good suggestion. We have considered that as well in the past.
Just to let you know that Advocate Yamin Thara is a very integral part of our structure in North India. And Jazakallah for your efforts, and please continue the excellent work in your region and assist on the global platform as well, inshallah.
Shehzad Ba, then finally Mahmood Ba, then we conclude. Shehzad Ba? Shehzad Ba, you're mute. I think Shehzad Ba has lowered his hand now. So, Shehzad Ba?
Mahmood Ba, please wind up with Mahmood Ba. Oh, okay, he's here.
Mashal got a question. Mashal,
I have a question for you.
Sorry, for me, better?
Yes, I do have a question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
So, my question was that since this is like the youth wing, I wanted to ask that I feel like I'm the youngest one here, like present at the meeting right now and listening. But how can we incorporate people around my age, not just like 17-year-olds, like from 15 plus? Because from that age, you have the knowledge of doing betterment for other people. So how can we incorporate what are our aims, goals, objectives to engage people of our age? Because to be honest with you, like I think the people of my generation have the most brightest ideas, like using social media. Everyone uses social media for us every single day. And we use that in our everyday lives. And we think that we have the most ideas for the betterment of our future, obviously. So I think like, what can we do to be more incorporated within the society? And what will you do to incorporate more of us that are my age, not just 17, but from 18 plus even maybe till like 30. Like, how can we have people of my age? Like, I don't see anyone my age. I want to see people my age speaking about topics like these, because I feel like everyone here should have the chance to listen to everyone, because it's words of wisdom and that's going to help you.
Beta Mashal, what you've mentioned is something, the age which we currently have for GYW is from 18 to 40. So to expand that age on the downside is something which is very much in my mind. And as part of the constitution amendments which we are going to be deliberating during this term, that is one of my target lists, that maybe we will discuss the opportunity to include an age group which extends the current age limit from the bottom side. So watch this space better, inshallah.
And in the meanwhile, just like Shabana Appa said, and earlier in the youth wing, Imran Farooq, our friend Imran Farooq had suggested, and Junaid had been working on it. We are planning to start a teens club that will enable, until that constitutional coverage is brought in, we will still start engaging the teens club and even the kids club, because we want to capture the hearts of our younger ones at an early stage, so that they get attached and they get engaged with the community from the beginning. And mashallah,
Kurumba, I just want to come in for a minute.
Sure.
With your permission and Sana and Bashir Ba and all of them, you know, it's now Maghreb time in the Western Cape. I'll have to leave. So I just want to say it's been an enormous conference today. It's been fabulous. Thank you for having me on board. I think we all will go forward with this and we'll do good. And to Bashir Ba, Mahmood Ba, Shoaib Ba, and of course, Salman Ba has now left. To all of you, thank you for being participants today. For everybody that's been listening, thank you very much. And of course, to Sana, Kurum, Aslam, all of you, we're honestly proud of having you all around. And with that, please excuse me and salam alaikum.
Jazakallah Soliba. Thank you so much for attending, Ba.
I think I'll take this opportunity to start the conclusion. I wanted to thank all the office bearers, all our elders, all our leaders for attending this program and for supporting us throughout in our journey that has been the first 3 years of GYW. I think I'll be very, very amiss if I did not thank and felicitate our leader, Bashir Sattarba, for putting the right foundations, the amazing foundation for this beautiful organization. And I hope that the future leaders of GYW will continue to build upon that foundation. Thank you so much for all that you've done. My RYVCs, the RYEs, Dr. Sana, Arslan Tabani, amazing work that the whole organization has done. There is not enough words. There is not enough words to thank the contribution. It's a thankless job. It is a selfless job, and people have given time out of their very, very busy schedules to do whatever you guys have done. So amazing job. A big round of applause for the whole GYW team and for all the leaders that have supported GYW. Thank you so much, guys. And with this, I would like to request Bilal Madni to do the dua and conclude the program for today. Bilal Ba, you there?
Bilal Bhai has just left. We'd request Shahzad Ra Bhai to do the dua for us, please.
Shahzad, are you there, bro? Shahzad, you there? Can you do the dua, bro?
Shahzad is on mute. Yeah, now.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين या अल्लाह जो असां हिकिड़ी जो मीटिंग ख़त्म करी आहियूं हिन जे अंदरि जो असांजो विजन बनाया आहियूं उन जे अंदरि असांखे इख़लास जे साथ बदे मामलात पूरा करण जी तौफ़ीक़ अता फरमाए असां बदे मेमोरी में आपस में एको बदे हिकिड़े ॿिए जो इत्तफ़ाक़ी हिकिड़े ॿिए खे अॻियां वधण जी कोशिशि में लॻा रहूं बदे जी ख़्वाहिश हुई कि अॼु मुंहिंजो भाउ मूंसे अॻियां हुए ऐं मुंहिंजो फैमिली मूंसे अॻियां हुए हर माण्हू हिकिड़े ॿिए जे बुरे वक़्त में हसद से बचाए या अल्लाह असांजी दिलि में कीने से असांखे बचाए ने असांजे मथे जो भी लीडर्स अचनि तौफ़ीक़ ॾे कि उहो पोते जी जेतिरा बि असांजे मेंबर पूरी क़ौम आहे ने एक्सक्लूसिवली मेंबर क़ौम जे अॻियां पूरी दुनिया जे मुसलमाननि लाइ पूरी दुनिया जे लोगनि लाइ बहितर से बहितर कमु करनि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रब्बिल आलमीन इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लु अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना मौलाना मुहम्मद व अला आलि मुहम्मद व बारिक व सल्लिम سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين.
Guys, can you just stay on just quickly? Just stay on. Don't go anywhere. Let's do one quick photograph just for the for our volumes. Just stay online. If you can all put your cameras on, please. Everybody put the cameras on. Everybody. if everybody can put the cameras on and give a nice big smile. Inshallah. So just, I'm going to take it now. Nice smile. Okay, hold on. Let me just do the other screen. Everybody, cameras on, please. Cameras on. No, you guys are not listening. There's quite a few without cameras. Please put your cameras on. And a nice smile. Okay, one more. There's several screens. Can I have everybody's cameras on, please, again? Nice smile. Wonderful. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you all soon again.
Yeah, Jazakallah bye, everybody. Assalamu alaikum to everybody.
Assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khurram bhai, Bashir bhai. Thank you.
Thank you.
Walaikum assalam.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.